All right. Timer's a little off as usual. I hope you guys are having a great day today. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Morning, Johnny Utah, Maytag, Disease Kodak, Kaylan, Production Works, Joseph, Alex, Garcia, The Loophole Lifestyle, Les, Dario, and NSCP Steve, and a whole bunch more. Let's see here. Johnny Utah said, "Hey Jesse, thank you for never giving up on PayPal. It's been a treat. It's been treating me very good." That's awesome, Dan. Yeah, I don't give up on investments where I believe there's a really good chance of them doing well. I try to hold conviction unless there's a good reason for that to change. And I never saw one with PayPal because the news was always better than I expected it to be. We got a lot to cover today. First off, we're pushing towards 700 members now within the Discord and on X. And considering we just started that this week, that's a huge accomplishment. I just want to thank everybody for all your support. We're going to work really hard. So this week, underneath the Bitcoin, crypto, and stock sections, these are going to explode. And I might have to actually push Bitcoin back up here. Or maybe crypto up here too, because I'm going to have less of those. But these will explode. We'll have a bunch more in here. Every chart basically I've ever looked at will be alphabetized in here. And I need to probably create a bunch of charts for the cryptos that I currently follow. And if there's additional ones that you guys want, you can ask for that too. But we'll be blowing this up and adding a bunch of stuff in here. I also need to get mods. So if you guys are interested in being a mod, please indicate that in the chat. And then we'll probably try and add a few. Especially if you're active in Discord, guys. If you want to be a mod in Discord, please indicate that in the chat here today. I'll have admin wife review that, and then we will go in and add a couple of mods just to try and help a little bit with things. Just, again, making sure that people are obeying the rules. We don't want any scammers in chat. I don't think that's a problem yet, but as quickly as we're growing, it could be. So we want to make sure that people are doing the right things. Also, economic data today. Let's jump into this. Bitcoin 2, 65.4 right now, guys. I've been telling you it's pushing hard. We will be looking at that. Oh, hey, real quickly. I better go into Discord and indicate that you guys should not disturb me. Otherwise, we'll get weird little beeps. All right. So we got a lot today, guys. A lot today. So we got this morning in about 8 minutes, we have core PCE, personal income, personal spending, goods trade balance, PCE price index year over year is what I care about, retail inventories, wholesale inventories, core PCE price index just at 7:30 in 9 minutes here. Then at 9, we're going to get another slew of data in regards to the Michigan current expectations, conditions, sentiment, all that kind of fun stuff. The big stuff, though, is at 7:30. Right now, the market is looking juicy. PayPal up to 81.41, up 1.66 in pre-market. Tesla up almost 1%. MicroStrategy up 2%. CleanSpark up 2%. Other cryptos doing really well. Cypher up 1%. There's just a bunch of them that are pumping. Got a really sniffly nose. This is good. Isn't good. I'm not snorting coke, guys. Just to be clear, I don't use that to wake up. I just got coffee, but I do have like a restricted nasal passage, so mornings can be rough. Anyway. But yeah, this is gonna be really interesting. If we get some good, especially PCE, if we're not seeing crazy data there, personal spending is still strong, income is good, we could see a real strong launch today. So let's hope for that and see what happens. But all in all, markets are looking very positive this morning and conducive to more upside price action. And we saw a lot of strength too in the Chinese markets last night. I posted a little bit about this. I gotta say, guys, I'm a little. Oh, and for people that are on X, I am putting my chart back. I'm putting my charts and the portfolio allocation, but only for subscribers. So you got to be subscribed on X, or you got to be subscribed on Discord in order to get access to that stuff. That's the only way it's gonna work. If you guys could too, for this video, if you could throw something in chat, hype it up, booster, please. Yeah. So if you guys could throw something in there, that helps. It broadens the audience. We actually, it's crazy. I quit ads a little over 24 hours ago, I guess 36 hours ago. And I've actually been noticing on YouTube that viewership is going up and watch time is going up and the amount of time people spend on it is going up, which is shockingly cool. But so that's probably going to work out great. All right, I did want to talk about a bunch of other things here too, guys. So if you look, I posted this just saying I don't think people are ready for the sheer level of vertical up thrust that we're going to have in Bitcoin. I had some people talking about how we might top out at the beginning of the year on Bitcoin. I just don't find that reasonable whatsoever. We could definitely have a stop where we get to 150, but that's not. We don't have any excitement on Bitcoin right now, none at all. So I don't think that's a reasonable expectation. Now, don't get me wrong. If they're their same target, if we do go to 150K, you probably should have cashed out a decent amount of your multiplier. So I won't hate it on that front at all, especially if you've made 500% or more, 1,000%. You should probably cash some of those out and be locked in with those gains. But I still don't think I mean, that's like saying that, okay, we're going to go up here to 150K this first move, and then it's over. And I don't see how that can be remotely realistic whatsoever. It's just not going to happen, guys. We're gonna have another up thrust now. Where that, especially this time, because we don't have to worry about this double top, the first real double top in Bitcoin's history. We don't have to worry about that this time because the Fed isn't cutting or raising rates at the most aggressive rate in history. If anything, they might be cutting rates at the most aggressive rate in history. I mean, we did the 50 bips. It'll probably be 25 going forward unless we really have major contagion issues. And I think with all the global liquidity, we're just going to keep ramping. But yeah, I wanted to talk to that real quick. What else did I have in here? Oh yeah, and I should let's go back because we have about 4 minutes. Don't have a lot of time. I'll look before we go too deep into other news related events and things like that. I do. Oh yeah, I did want to talk about China. So let's just show that real quick. We got a minute anyway. So China's markets are pumping, and I posted something in here basically indicating that people shouldn't buy China and Chinese related investments at all. And I'm not. I got to say this, guys. I will not. I've thought about this long and hard, right? I've thought about this. Well, not too long. Kind of though. I don't want people pumping Chinese stocks in my chat, and I don't even want to look them up. I've changed my mind on that. I don't think it's good because people are going to get wrecked from it. I can tell you what's going to happen with Bitcoin-related markets. I can give you a really good guide of what I think is going to happen with stock market. I can't do that for China, and I don't want people to get wrecked. Again, our buddy Cross Border Capital talking about how all tides are rising, and it's starting with China right now. I don't like playing musical chairs with things I don't understand, and so I just don't. And I don't even know if I have my note in here. I don't want people to get wrecked with China, so I'm not going to look up stocks with China, and I don't want people pumping that stuff in my chat because people are going to get wrecked, and that's not something that I am willing to participate in. I know these other markets really well, and I think I can be a good guide in them. Again, not financial advice, but China is so dangerous. It's so dangerous on so many levels, and I don't want to participate. All right, you guys could do it. Just do it with somebody else. Do it under somebody else's chat. Do it under somebody else's groups if you want to get wrecked or take that risk. All right, so about 50-50 again versus the 25 or 50 bips for November 7th. So very, very much either way, coin flip. Now, if we look over here, we'll look at the CNN Business Fear and Greed Index. It has us at 72 now, so we're getting really close to that fear level. So that's getting really close. If we hop over here to the Fear and Greed Index on crypto, we're getting to 61, so we're just starting to dip into greed. Nothing too crazy there. Let's look at crypto markets, and we got a couple of minutes left. Let's go on the daily. So again, we're still seeing pumping across crypto markets at a time where Bitcoin looks like it's breaking out. This is very telling, guys. This is very telling that we're at the beginning of this cycle and that we're getting ready to just explode higher. So I hope everybody is paying attention because I do think that's exactly what's happening. Let me get over here. I'll try and get into chat real quick too and get caught up with you guys. Let's see here. And it looks like my restream crashed. I got to figure that out because I lose some of those X questions every once in a while, which is kind of annoying. But I'll figure it out. Looks like Disease Codex. It's up, Alex, Johnny, Les, Steve, Dario, Maytag, Loophole. We got a sick group of guys. I agree, Diseased. Morning team, says Gary. Swarmy Robots. Bitcoin looking good. It looks real good, bro. Value Maxi, Yoal. Alex Garcia, Morning DK. The Jacobian Ghost. TGIF, everyone. bittersweet as markets closed over the weekend. We'll watch the BTC pump over the weekend. Yes. Yeah, we will. We will watch BTC pump. We'll probably watch markets pump today too. Z's Kodak says 700 is insane. So does Value Maxi. It says woo. It is crazy. It's weird that we're already up to 700 people between X and Discord. It's just a lot. Johnny Utah says, signed it up this weekend. Works. My firewall will not let me through my personal laptop. Oh, really? Is there a way to fix that? Whoa, Lucas, thank you for the $20, man. Hey, Jesse, I'm looking at leaps on Disney. Would love your take on the stock when you have a moment. Yes, we'll do that. I'll give once we get things going here as far as news related items and past the economic data that's coming out like in seconds here. Let me actually pull that up. Then we'll make sure to get that before we end. Let's just look here real quick at economic data, guys. See where we're sitting. But yeah, thank you very much, Lucas. That's a very generous tip, my friend. Swang Wook Jion on X got in the first day on Discord. Awesome, glad to hear it. Oh, here we go. We got all our data. Let me kill all these. There's so many alerts. And then while this is happening, we'll just keep an eye on markets too and where we're going. Core price index is only 0.1% versus a consensus of 0.2 and forecast of 0.2. This is good. It's lower than expected. We want prices to be low. Income came in lower though too, month over month at least. It was supposed to be forecast at 0.3 and the consensus of 0.4. It was only 0.2. So that we would actually like to see better. Personal spending is also slightly lower, 0.2%, but consensus and forecast were 0.3. So, not bad, not good. It would be better if we saw personal income rising, or at the very least, personal spending still meeting expectations or exceeding. But it's also not a bad number. The previous was 0.5 on personal spending, so for it to just go down a little bit isn't the end of the world. I'll skip good trade balance for now. I'll go back to that later. PCE price index year over year, 2.2%. Again, versus 2.4 for forecast and 2.3 for consensus. So that's a good number. And I like the year over year data the best. We'll look at that actually real quick and jump into it. So again, prices are getting cheap. They're really back to a normal level, guys. This is really good stuff. This isn't bad at all. And then if we look over here, it says retail inventories, X autos, month over month, advanced. It says 0.3% forecast. Oh, and then I got to refresh. I hate it when it doesn't recalc right away. It says actual 0.4. So retail inventories, X autos is just a little bit higher than normal. Probably nothing crazy there either. So next one, wholesale inventories, month over month advance. Forecast at 0.1, consensus 0.2, actual 0.2. Nothing crazy. Core PCE price index year over year, came in at 2.7. Consensus was 2.7. Forecast was 2.6. Again, this is a better one to look at. But if we're looking here, this does not look crazy at all. We do have a little bit of an uptick, but again, if you look at this the last year, guys, we're really starting to come down to where a rate where inflation isn't a major concern, which is good. That's it. That's it for data right now. There's nothing crazy in here. Let's see how markets are doing. Tesla's bumped up a little bit more. Bitcoin's bumped up a little bit more. I would say that, Bitcoin's at 65,646. I would say the markets like what they're seeing right now, guys. This isn't bad at all. All right, let me real quickly keep rolling through here. And yeah, we definitely won't miss yours, Lucas. I won't miss that. That's a big, very generous tip, man. So I'll make sure we get it done. Morning, Jesse. It seems like the market is waiting for an OK in PC. It sure does, and I think we just got it. I think this isn't bad-looking data, and I think we just got it. Let me see. We'll pull up. Let me just jump over. I'm just going to take a quick glance myself at markets to kind of see where we're sitting. Okay. All right, cool. Now I'll pull this up while I'm talking and going through the rest of the chat. We'll put this on pre-market so that we can see where things are sitting until we open up in roughly 56 minutes from now. But again, this isn't bad, guys. This is looking, Tesla's really liking the news. Looks like there's some retail stuff that's doing okay. NVIDIA, I think, is going to be getting toppy, guys. I also think Palantir is toppy. I've said that a bunch of times. But this is looking good. Let's see how much this changes over time here. And I'm actually going to switch this up. We're going to do the Russell 3000. I want to get a really good view of small caps too. So this is a lot of stuff right here. Let's see how it goes. All right, keep going here. Value Maxi said, signed up to all three now: YouTube, Discord, and X. I don't want to miss anything. Awesome, dude. I appreciate that. Your patronage is very much appreciated. John Cameron, good morning, Jesse. What's up, bud? Alfredo, morning. You fucking legend. Thanks, Alfredo. Alex Garcia, Disease Kodak Bro, FR last time I checked, there were over 500. Yeah, there's in Discord, to be clear, there's like 550 or 60 now. And then on X, there's like another 100 plus. So when I say the 700, yeah, 551 on Discord, and then over 113 or 16 or 20 or something now on X. So they're both growing really fast, considering we just started them this week. Charlie Massey, like and comment, people. Yes, please do. Production works. How do you feel about PayPal entering China? I think it's a really good. I think it's a really good thing for PayPal. I don't know if that's going to help China, but it's going to be beneficial to PayPal. And again, one of the things that I really got to say, guys, that's awesome is that PayPal has its own entity in China, like Tesla does, right? All the other auto manufacturers that came from the United States or the West in China had to have partners, and that is something. House, thanks, Disease Kodak. Casa. But all the other players in the auto sector had to have an affiliate, basically a partner in China, in order to do business. And that partner's goal was basically to steal all their intellectual property, recreate what they're doing, and then eventually create their own products and push them out of the market. That's what they've done for the most part. And some of it is very, very in your face, and some of it is more, behind the scenes. But that's what's been happening for well over a decade. Now, PayPal doesn't have that problem either, just like Tesla. And I think that that's a huge advantage that they have. And the fact that they're entering this market too, that has over 1 billion people, is also huge. And I don't know. We'll see what the regulatory stuff looks like. PayPal is firing on all cylinders, guys. It's a beautiful thing. Concords and X says good morning. On X, JD says, Chad, I agree. Anthony says, morning, Jesse. And I might have missed some comments earlier. Again, in the restream crash. Gary Corrett said, I've subscribed for Discord, X, and YouTube. Thanks, guys. Deadpool Invest says, good morning, you fucking legend. Thanks, bro. Kyle Wright, I'm torn between using X and YouTube. YouTube is better platform, but I want to support X. I know, dude. I struggle. I struggle with it too, because there's actual functionality. Like, I'll be able to add chapters soon. That's something we're going to do on YouTube. You won't get that on X, but I want to support X. I'm in the same boat. I'm happy that I'm putting videos on X. I think it's great. If you're on the platform, it's wonderful to do, and it's wonderful to support. But at the same time, it's like, it's hard to give up on YouTube just yet, but I think that time is coming soon, guys. I think it's coming soon. Disease Kodak is making fun of the cast thing house comment from yesterday. Thank you. Which is a castle, evidently. I can't buy a real castle yet. That was my comment. Yeah. Chad Ventures, PayPal up 1.4% in pre-market. You can't hate it, guys. Chad Ventures, delicious. JD, oh my God, BTC is melting upward. Tony, morning fam. Yeah, BTC. Let's look at BTC while we're waiting here too. And we got a bunch of news to go through, guys, but I posted something too on the subscription only this morning saying that what we're seeing right now, where we're above this fib line again, getting ready to do 3 white soldiers that will break out into next week, that will give us a monthly close that looks like a thing of beauty. This just looks gorgeous, guys. If you just do this, if you just get it simple and look at this, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful chart. And we're getting ready to explode higher. I hope you guys realize that. And I posted something about this yesterday too. I just hope you realize that. I hope you realize that we could go 40% in a month or two. And that underlying investments like CleanSpark can go up almost 250% in that same amount of time. Those percentages are going to get lower and lower as we scream higher. So you want to be in now, guys. You don't want to wait on this. And 65,730 is not a bad number right now. We're very much getting ready to explode. I'm going to save this real quick, get rid of some of the clutter. I need to start cleaning up my charts since I'm going to be displaying a lot of these. And again, my alerts are giving you like each sector that I want to be notified, where we have like, again, a higher low. I'll try and get formalized on how I do this. I'll make some videos about how I do it too. And again, I might even end up creating a few different types of charts to help you guys along the way. You could scroll X chat with mouse wheel. Yeah, I'm not in X though. I'm trying to do Restream where it consolidates both, but I can do that too, yeah. But yeah, so we've got a lot of good stuff happening, guys. Bitcoin's probably going to pump today and into the weekend. And There's a bunch of people not ready for it, but they'll figure it out. And again, like I showed in Google Trends yesterday, guys, I'll just pull it up again here. Google Trends. If you look here, there is just no interest in Bitcoin whatsoever. Just none. Nobody is even thinking about it, guys. Like we are in our own little world here, we're thinking about it, right? But when we look at historical reference, there's a cycle right there, right? You can't even see the one over here. It's like it didn't exist. There's a cycle peak right there, guys. Over here, here's a cycle peak, guys, right here. Here's a cycle peak right here. Here's big pumps into 2021, and we never even got to our cycle peak for interest because of the rate cuts, and now we're over here. Nobody cares about Bitcoin. Nobody cares about it. They will care about it, and you'll see it in these trends, and that'll happen in the not too distant future. And it's getting ready to happen right now. I've seen this happen so many times. Could it still be delayed 5.5 more weeks for the election, like Tom Lee thinks? Yeah, why not? That could happen. But man, I don't want to wait. I don't want to assume that's happening and not be on board now. That's all I can say. All right, let me look here real quick. How do you feel about, all right, George says, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Alfredo says, can you look at Baba? No, I'm not going to look at any of them. Okay, good. Joking, yeah. I won't look at any of them. Not a one. Millsy, I won't look at anything China, guys. I'm just not going to do it. I'll probably start pulling up their indexes to show you what's happening, or I might reference them to show the irrational exuberance, but I don't want anybody remotely thinking that I condone any of the investing over there. I don't want people to get wrecked. It's the easiest way to get wrecked. It's more reckless than shitcoins. Trying to support you, Jesse. So I just signed up on X for the first time. Do I just follow Micro to Macro on there? Is this what you're asking? Yeah, so you can follow me also too on X. I have a subscribe feature now, and it looks like there's people that are in there. So if you subscribe, I only subscribe to 2. I probably need to subscribe to more. But it looks like there's 115 or 116 people that are subscribed to me now. And there's posts like this one I did where I include this information too in the Discord along with a lot more. But you can see, again, my portfolio allocation and charts in here. The Discord is really going to get good, though, too, with just all the communication that between members. And then we're going to start doing things like probably multiple times during the week. I'll jump into Discord and like into the voice chat, and we can have conversations with each other too. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, you could subscribe. It's $5 a month. If you do it using the web app, then we get 97% of that for the channel. If you do it using a mobile phone, you take 30% off of that, and that's what we end up getting. So 67% of the revenue. So it's better to do it on web app. But yeah, it'll benefit the channel definitely. And Lucas will definitely get to your request here for a Disney and an options plays. Do you have particular leaps you're looking at too, as far as what you're thinking for strike or anything like that, Lucas? Les Walter, MU, any update on Leap if you're looking? I'm not looking at Leaps right now. I'm not even doing that. I did purchase stock yesterday though, and I posted about that in the Discord. Which people can see now. For a while there, you couldn't see it, but we fixed that. So today's trades, if you look over here, you can see where I did buy 50 shares of MU. Actually, yeah, 50. And then I bought some TLT too, and then I sold some PayPal yesterday. And then I think I ended up selling another 10 contracts on PayPal. Only 2026. I haven't sold 2025. And I can show you what all that looks like real quick here. Let me just pull it up on my account and show that to you. And the account is looking super happy today, guys. Not gonna lie. If today is a flying day, yeah, PCE doesn't look bad, Travis. The stuff came in pretty good today. It's kind of in line, nothing crazy. So I think markets will digest that news quite well. But if we just pull this over, so again, which one were we talking about? Oh yeah, PayPal. I sold a little bit of PayPal. I still have tons of it. And I think after today, potentially, I might be positive on PayPal across all of my accounts for the first time in a very long time because I was down big. Victor, thank you for joining on YouTube, my friend. But yeah, MU, I probably will be doing a video about MU, but I don't know if it'll be about options or not. It'll definitely be about the investment opportunity because I think there's a good one here, and I need to get that chart added too. Danielle Morales says, Buenos dias from Florida. Buenos dias, my friend. Ben Guy, happy Friday. Gary Curette, I've subscribed for Discord. You guys are awesome. You guys are just like, I'll take the whole pack. You guys are great. Kyle Wright, I'm torn between using X and YouTube. YouTube is a better. Oh yeah, that okay. Saw that one already. Okay, we got past that. Jesse, I didn't. Didn't you mention it's better to subscribe somewhere else other than an iPhone due to? Yeah. If you guys for X, so for the Discord, you don't have to worry about it because you're doing it through WAP, and with WAP, I should the way it gets processed, that should all look like a web app and it shouldn't go through the stores, I believe. Yeah, that's the way it should work. So with that one, I should get 97%, I believe it is, of the revenue. But for X, and YouTube, really, if you do it through the desktop version, then we avoid a 30% fee on the stores. I think Apple definitely has 30%. I think Google's is 30% too. So whenever you're signing up for subscriptions, guys, if you want to really benefit the people that are a part of them, don't do it via mobile because you get screwed. If anything, that's why I want to see Elon Musk doing something like that because we really need to see it. Real quick, I'm gonna pull up some stuff. I want to get CNBC streaming on my side here, real quick, guys. So that let me just make sure I'm muted though. But I want to get CNBC streaming to where if there's anything cool that comes up, I'm talking about it. And again, market opens in about 44 minutes, and then we have another read at 9 o'clock for some additional economic data. So far, the markets appear to be handling it all well. And again, I'm loving the amount of green in here under the portfolio. And I've almost got to, I'll have to zoom out more because I'm buying more stuff. But if you look over here, Tesla especially up 534. I think I booked 800. Well, I shouldn't say booked, but I've got 800,000 in gains between the stuff I have booked and the stuff that sorry, I was looking at the news over here and the stuff that's sitting here. So it's just been a wicked time, guys. It might even be closer to 850 now. It's been a really great time to own Tesla and these options. And I hope everybody was able to get in. And I hope people didn't get into my January 2025 PayPal calls, but I hope you did get into the January 2026 since we're up 100% on those too. I actually, if I end up adding, I hope Hood grinds sideways for a while. I would like to add more in here, but it's already up 33%. So I'd like there to be some pain in there before I do. And again, ArcG is another one I'd probably want to add to. But it had a really good day yesterday, so we'll see. But there's just a lot of stuff to pick from, guys. There's a lot of stuff to pick from. I'm very excited with where we're heading next. It looks like on CNBC they're just talking about OpenAI and the CFO. I don't care about OpenAI at all, so we'll probably skip that right now. Let's keep, we do have news-related events. I do want to go to it real quick. Let's look at U.S. economic data. And then also, you know what? No, let's go to Bitcoin first. There's one from Willy Woo that I really love in here, guys. He said, how to stay poor. If you save cash under the mattress, the government debasement would have stolen half of its value in 10 years. 10 years, you lost half of your money if you stored it under your covers, right? All right, but he's got more to say here. So he says, how not to stay poor. Buy gold. So if you don't want to be shafted, buy gold because you wouldn't have lost value. It's been around for 6,000 years and people have used it as a store of value, right? But he says if you want to get wealthy, instead, what you needed to do was buy stocks in the S&P. He goes, have you noticed we once owned plows? Our parents had cars. We have mobile intelligent supercomputers, and our kids will buy tickets to Mars. You can own a slice of that trend by buying stocks. It easily beats a lump of yellow metal. But then, and again, that's great, right? Like, this is great. That's all good. You can see where it beats the metal. But then he goes a little bit further, and he goes, how to win big. Invest in something everyone thinks is wrong, but is correct. 10 years ago, Bitcoin was definitely drug money for the dark web. Today, we all know it's a new asset class with the blessing of presidents and BlackRock. How it went versus our old friends' cash, gold, and stocks. So again, right up here, guys, see that one? See that one for performance, right? Kind of interesting. Let's go down here and see what Bitcoin did. You can't even see these fuckers. You can't even see them. They don't even register. So when I tell you guys you need to own Bitcoin and that now is a pivotal time to get in, and that you don't have time to wait. I'm saying it because of this. Okay? I'm saying it because of this. So please, fucking pay attention. Okay? Please pay attention. Do not ignore the fact that Bitcoin is almost at 66,000 today. And that the returns for its history make every other thing on earth look pathetic. Please don't ignore that. Please to God. I don't know how to reiterate this enough. Also, Willy Woo is based out of Hong Kong. Don't listen to his advice about China, even though I love him. I said, this was in the private, subscribers only, but I just said, hey guys, we're above this. We're getting ready to launch. This is signal. Also, my buddy Trader Tardigrade said, if Solana continues to suck the life from Ethereum, this could very well happen. Trader Tardigrade said the measured move for Solana is 2,200. And I agree. I actually think it could stop at 2,000, but I don't think that's a crazy move. It sounds crazy. But if you suck the life out of Ethereum and then you quantify the fact that Ethereum would have growth, if you look at this, it's already 3.1% on Sol, 1.1% on Ethereum. Let's look at let's go back over different time frames here. Let's go a week. So just a little bit beating Ethereum. Let's go back a month. Oh, Ethereum's winning, but let's go back a year. Which one won? If we look at the year, which one is winning? It's Solana. And here's the deal. Solana had a massive run, so it ends up retracing more, and then you get a little bit of a bounce on ETH. Oh, my nose. It's driving me nuts. But look at this. This is more than 10x, guys. This is an 11x return. I predict Solana will surpass Ethereum this cycle. So out of the two of these, that's the one I'm wanting, right? That's the one I'm wanting. If I look at my favorites here, this is all my stuff just today in the shitcoin world. My bonk, I think this is a Solana shitcoin meme. Fucking total trash, but it's up. Almost all my stuff's up today, guys. Doing really well. And for the week, I don't hate it, right? Like, is there a red bubble in here? No. Oh, I'm sorry, one. Right down here. Little tiny baby. And then again, the month. And then if we go to the year, it's just stupid. So this is the kind of stuff you can see in the future, guys, if you're patient. So please just be patient, be smart with your money. But yeah, I think Solana's going up. All right, let me get caught up with chat real quick. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Oh, did I get another super chat? Lucas. Yeah, let me see. I think I got another super chat. Did I get another one? Oh no, that was oh yeah, another one from Lucas. Looking at okay, I'll look at those. I'll look at those, Lucas. We'll do that for sure this stream. All right, and let me keep going here. So Team Miri says just subscribed on X, messed up by doing it on mobile, so I canceled and did it again on desktop. Oh, okay, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Again, it's just more money going to the stream. I do want to get. I told people earlier too. I do want to get better metrics for Glassnode. I'm also just trying to figure out. I know there's crypto quant, but I've heard somewhat negative things about it. I do want to find though real time data that I can show you guys, and that I have access to that is as cheap as possible. Now, Glassnode is not that cheap. I actually posted that in here. It's over $10,000 that I have to pay for it because you have to sign up for the whole year. So I'm trying to look to see if there's other options, but yeah, it's $833 a month, billed yearly, right? VAT not included. But this would give amazing insight and power to our group. And again, it's got multiple seats available, so I could give it to moderators too, to where we could have multiple people eyeing it. So this is just some of the stuff I'm thinking about, right? It's go big or go home. And $10,000 is a lot of money though, so I need to figure out if it's worth it before I do it, hopefully, or if there's other options that are out there. That's kind of the game plan. This is a 2-minute video, guys. This is my buddy, right? This is Jason Lowry. This is the Space Force guy. This is the guy who wrote the book Soft War about Bitcoin. And he is a nerdy as fuck, but he's also brilliant. This is 2 minutes of him talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the thing I want you guys to focus on today. So I just want you to listen to this real quick.
Bitcoin didn't cause a bunch of bankers to do fractional reserve lending. I think we can all agree about that, right? Bitcoin didn't cause a bunch of bankers to take too much leverage. Bitcoin didn't cause bankers to debase savers and to destroy the purchasing power of the currency, to bail out the bankers who are fractionally reserve lending and taking too much leverage. Okay? Bitcoin didn't kick entire sovereign nations off of an international payment system. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind, right? If you're an architect of a financial system, then it's your responsibility to not motivate people to leave that financial system, which means don't debase them. Don't continue bailing out the people who are making the mistakes. Don't kick entire sovereign nations off this thing. Like, it's your responsibility to not do that if you want to maintain like the dominant financial information network. Okay, don't blame Bitcoin for your, I almost said something bad. Don't,
Remember, this guy is working for the DoD and for Space Force, and and so he's done a lot, and so he's got to kind of watch his words and what he says about the federal government here. He actually had his book. They made him take it down off of Amazon and distribution locations for a long time before he was eventually allowed to put it back up again. So, but he very much believes in Bitcoin.
I'll just leave it at that. Okay. So, and by the way, if this is more than just a coin, right? If this is bit power, if we have no kidding, again, this is theory. I could be crazy. I'm relying on other people to evaluate. That's how computer science works, computer theory works. If we have no kidding figured out a way to project power in from through cyberspace, a new physical power projection protocol that will transform cybersecurity and national security.
And when he says things like this, guys, I think what we need to realize is the Bitcoin network has never been hacked. Like, theoretically, if people are stupid and they leave their keys around or pass things around, you can get access to a wallet, right? But the ledger is immutable, which means it's unalterable. And not without a 51% attack. We won't even go into that right now. Maybe I can do more of that later on and talk about it. Not even remotely worried about it. But that it's a source of truth. And if you think about it in the future, what are some of the main concerns we have? And right, like even now, right? Especially though with AI and the ability to be able to manipulate and create videos of Donald Trump shooting a bunch of people or Kamala Harris, chopping off somebody's head. You could fake in the future, even just a few years from now, you're going to be able to fake things with a degree of reality that is absurd. So how do we validate what is true and what isn't? We're going to need the ability to be able to source that information and source it with great accuracy. X is trying to do that right now with community notes, and it's great, but you need to almost have a ledger, in order to be able to determine the authenticity of things and when they were published and that they're coming from reputable sources. And isn't that Bitcoin? Isn't as Bitcoin grows and becomes more powerful, wouldn't the best source of truth on the planet be Bitcoin? And also the greatest financial store of value, and it just, again, the immutability, the transferability, everything that makes Bitcoin great, that it's going to be the source of truth, and everybody will want to be on that network and have access to it. And what he's talking about with power projection is just that there will be, instead of kinetic wars and wars where we fight each other, with sticks and rockets and nuclear weapons, really it will be an aggressive push to try and be able to have control of the blockchain. And it gets a lot more interesting than that, but he's a very smart person to listen to, I think, and very insightful. And I do agree with a lot of what he says, and I definitely agree in regard to the sourcing of information and validating the authenticity of things. We're going to need chains that we trust, and I think Bitcoin could be the base layer of trust for everything on Earth. And I don't know if a lot of people talk about that, but that's my belief.
Blaming Bitcoin to protect your failing hegemony, let's call it for what it is, okay, that's not going to help you. It's still going to break down. Like, your financial system is still going to collapse as long as you keep on doing the things that I just said, okay? What you would actually be doing is you would be forfeiting our access as a nation to this protocol, to bit power, okay? You would be denying us access to this feature. And that would be a strategic nightmare.
So he's basically saying we have to be a part of this. If we're not a part of this, we're going to have major problems and pain ahead. And I 100% agree with that. This Bitcoin Archive posted yesterday, MicroStrategy is up 44% in 20 days. It has gained $11 billion in market cap and is now worth $33 billion. You know what's going to happen next? Michael Saylor is going to probably issue more shares, and then he's going to buy Bitcoin. This is the formula. So, again, when the net asset value, the NAV for the stock is a much higher multiple versus the underlying, and it's very overextended from technical means, he'll do this over and over and over again, and ride it. And again, it's like you're diluting something that loses value, which his shares, I mean, technically it's dollar denominated, all this stuff. It will lose value, right? But then he's buying Bitcoin, something that's just going to keep screaming higher. And it's a brilliant move. It's a brilliant move, especially in a bull market. Well, I mean, during the depths of the bear and into the bull. After the bull market's over, he's not going to be doing any of that, and he's just going to be riding it out again. But then he'll be able to leverage his Bitcoin holdings if he needs to borrow money. It's just it's such a brilliant fucking thing, and it's coming at us every day. Let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about. Marty Party's saying the same thing I am. He said Bitcoin secures the higher high on the daily, and he's seeing it getting ready to break out. If we look over here, Bitcoin again sitting at 65,741. Let's look at the stock market here. Tesla up 1.3% right now. I do want to do something. Well, I can't do it yet. We can do it in 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, we'll pull up the watch list, guys, and look at the percentages, but I don't think I can get this in pre-market. No, I don't think I can do this in pre-market. And so my other thing, I've got all these things to work on, guys. For the 344 people here, if you could hit the like, it would be greatly appreciated. But I'm also going to be creating watch lists for different sectors, and I can share them. So this might be a really effective way to, both on X under subscriptions, under my pin profile, and within the Discord, to be able to share massive lists of stocks with you as well. To where you can look at entire sectors. So that's something I want to do. I want to break down different sectors, and then I want to share the lists out with you, and then you'll be able to click in here and you'll be able to look at, different categories of information like price, financials, performance, risk, and technicals per TradingView. And TradingView keeps hitting me up, asking me if there's any changes that need to be made too. So if you guys think of anything like that where you want to see a change in TradingView, I've got at least a couple things in my mind that I would like to do. But yeah, so these watch lists, along with getting all of the charts updated and getting every chart I've ever looked at and saved, is going to be in the Discord hopefully by the end of this weekend, and on X under my pin profile. So there's going to be a lot of stuff. But yeah, in 28 minutes we'll be able to look at this. All right, let's keep going. Team Mary we saw that one. Chad Ventures loaded up on both. MicroStrategy, he's loaded up on both. MicroStrategy is not falling if BTC goes high, in my opinion. No, it's not. I mean, there'll be times where they don't trade together because you have a net asset value of MicroStrategy that could be much higher. And I'll see if I can probably get a good chart of that too, guys. So I'll see if I can create something that shows the net asset value, or if you guys know of a source that already does that on a website or something, where you can get an updated one, that would be great. Let me know. But we definitely, I'll try and get something like that. But so you can trade at where like MicroStrategy is sucking and Bitcoin's going up for a week, even a month. There will be disparities, right? But you just ride the waves. And then if you have an IRA and you don't have to worry about taxes, you sell out of the one that's doing really good and you buy the stuff that's lagging. Or at least like rebalance a little bit. I just move small percentages. But I think that's a good strategy, though. All of it's going up. Miners, MicroStrategy, all of it's going up. I think Kaylin Bedford, you're selling your PayPal 2026 calls before your 2025s. Can you explain? Yeah, okay. That's a legit question. So the 2025s are dust. That's why. Let me zoom in here because this is really small. There you go. That's a little better. So the 2025s are dust. They're only worth $40,000 right now, right? That's dust to me. Okay, they're down 310,000. So they're still down 89%. So I'm not interested in selling something that's down 89%. I still think that we can run to the 90s, and if we run to 95, the amount of money I'll have made back from these will be substantial. Maybe I'm at a 50% loss. Maybe I'm at a 40% loss. And so I'll sell out at that level. I'll start dialing out of these because I have just a ridiculous number of contracts. But yeah, I'm selling very lightly. Again, I've only sold 20 contracts out of this. So that's not remotely 10%, right? So that's like 4% of my holdings I've sold. And then if you look, it's like 4%, and I've got holdings in another account too. So it's probably like 3.5, maybe 3%. So I've sold just a little bit with it doubling, and I'll continue to sell, but probably not much different than what I am right now. So that's what I'm waiting on the 2025 so that I can actually maybe have some more real money. And even if I don't make anything off of it, guys, it's not going to matter. I could be in the black today. So even if this other stuff turns to dust, it doesn't even matter. But I'd like to recoup as much of it as I can. So I'm patient. And then if I don't recoup it, that's okay too. Victor Hernandez, I remember that PayPal play, and that time sounded great. PayPal. Oh yeah, everybody was saying PayPal. Yeah, I had people shit on me forever about PayPal, and they were right for a while. They were right for over a year. They're not going to be right in the future though, and that's their loss if they're not a part for the ride. Chad Ventures, CleanSpark has this gap at around 13, which might get filled faster than we think, in my opinion. I think we're going to 32 by the end of the year, beginning of next, in CleanSpark. So yeah, I agree. George T says pre-market looking really good for the key stocks. I agree. Pre-market looks great. If you just jump in here, having Tesla in at 1.21% is great. Nvidia's up. Nvidia's topping out, guys. You can't have a $3 trillion company that doubles every fucking month. $3 trillion is a lot of money, even in today's age, where the government can spend that in like a week. I'm kidding, but like really 3 months, maybe 2.5. It's fucking insane. Let's keep going. Let's see here. So Chris Federal, did you sleep last night? I'm still reading X posts. Good morning, fam. I did. I just got up a little early. That's all. AP, I have some 11-1, 15 calls, lottos for CleanSpark. 11-1 is definitely a short period of time, but you might be all right. You might do all right, man. I hope it works out for you. I definitely don't like those shorter time frames, but man, if we bust up to 20 all of a sudden, that lotto is going to feel pretty good, but not really my play. JD, nice Chad. I also think 1062 gap will easily be filled today. Znebis says, I still have 25 PayPal calls, but without losses, you don't learn how to win. Agreed. Alex Garcia, someone said they have 175,000 shares of CleanSpark. Is that Alex? No, that's not Alex. Oh, you're talking about my buddy Max, the trader guy? I think he has 170. Somebody had 175. I saw that. I mean, that's not too crazy. JD, you better bet MicroStrategy is buying Bitcoin and driving up price right now. Probably. El Moss Racing. Actually, I think it's China right now, but I do think that MicroStrategy will be a part of that. Pretty quick. 175,000 in value or in shares? Shares, I think. Yeah, they're shares. I think it's shares. Mike Yacko, it hit 66K 3 minutes ago. Did it? Bitcoin? Yeah, it's just bouncing. It's just bouncing. It's real good, though, guys. The fact that we're pressing up this hard. I've said this a bunch of times already, but this massive wick back up to this level from down here is huge. Then this next one going all the way down to 48 and then going all the way back up to 64, 65 again, right up against the fib again, and then settling down here is huge. Dropping down even further, down to the 52 again, and then finding ourselves at the month all the way up here, potentially above the fib for the first time since May. If that happens with the monthly close, it's on like Donkey Kong. That's just all it is. It's on like Donkey Kong. For people who know what that is. JD says, let's fucking go Jesse in all caps. I agree. Let's see, next set of data. So market opens in 21 minutes, guys. And then the next set of data comes at 9. So 51 minutes from now. And we got more to go through. Value Maxi, does Jesse like Bitcoin? He's not being clear enough. Yeah. Hopefully I'm being clear enough, Value Maxi. Victor Hernandez, I dropped my question. I'm up 160% on Palantir. I have no Tesla position. Trim last year. How do you sell your Palantir and get into Tesla? Looks amazing. It's easy. You go up here. You go up here. You go into your account. You click the thing. You hit sell. You sell it. And then you buy Tesla. Is that helpful, Victor? Do that. I mean, not financial advice, but again, let's look at Palantir. How's Palantir doing today? Since I've said that it's just going to be toppy and chop sideways. It is down 0.43%. It looks like it's rolling over. I still think we could fill a gap at 31. I don't think you have a lot of time to figure that out. So, I don't know. You can ride the wave up into 1010 in Tesla, or you can ride the wave down in Palantir. It's up to you, bro. Manny247, Jesse, an admin wife, do not need to do this. For Jesse to give up so much time for the community is crazy. Please show love. If you find it valuable, support it, bro. If not, bye-bye. Thanks, Manny. I feel the same way. I got really annoyed yesterday when somebody acted like I'm trying to gouge you guys or something. It's like you could literally get everything, like everything, for $10, right? If you were doing X, if you were subscribed on X and you were in the Discord. 10 fucking dollars. Can any of you guys in chat let me know if my advice has helped you make more than $10? So, and my wife, she really doesn't have to do it. She's a godsend. She's a sweetie. She just believes in me and knows that I'm doing well and that I'm helping us and helping everybody, really. Our parents, everybody. All of my goal is to retire my brother here soon or help him start his first company. And there's a bunch of other people on that list, too. I need to employ my nephew when he gets out of jail here. Hopefully he doesn't even have to go. We're working on it. But, yeah, there's a lot of people to help. And we're trying to do it to help. So I'm not a greedy fucker. I'm not giving you a $2,700 course. I won't name names on that one. Nolan Whitley, 2.3K in Twitter is crazy looking for group. That's awesome, man. JD, soon Jesse's admin wife will be a Tesla robot instead of his human wife. I hope so. She probably would be happier just doing the things she wants to do. Simone Bravo, 11,000% man. Chicken Bro, love it. Love it how you shit on shit coins even though they're up 10. Yeah, I shit on them because they are shit coins and I want you to know it, right? I want you to know that they're fucking trash. 99% of them are fucking garbage. And I do have a position in them, and sure, I've got $300,000 in it, but I'm not going to tell you that they're all like super duper fucking special. Maybe Solana, maybe a few others end up being something that's beneficial, but do they have the moat that Bitcoin has? No, they don't. Ethereum is a great example of that. Just watching the pain felt in Ethereum is a great example. So I will not promote shit and tell you, like, again, shitcoins are something where it's a cycle. You can make money off of it. You can make stupid amounts of money off of it that make China look tiny. But I'm going to call them shitcoins until I find something miraculous. Solana is the least shitty shitcoin I can find. And that's because of James from Invest Answers. So thanks to him. Why would you invest in crap coins or bonk? Pure gamble. Yeah, it's trash. Good call. All right, let's keep going. Oh, I missed. I hate it when things move on me. So annoying. Let me see here. Yeah, okay. One, Kvavos. Hi, Jesse. What is your opinion on GREE? Trying to remember what GREE is. Is GREE a shitcoin? Or is it an actual stock? Let me look real quick here. And I need to get back. I need to get to Disney because I need to hook up my buddy. Tell me whether GREE is a shitcoin or a stock. Remind me. Sammy Lee, why would you? Yeah, okay. Chad Ventures, still think that ETH can hit 10,000 this cycle? I don't know. I just don't have a lot of faith in it. With Solana being so much more used and powerful and seeing such a massive amount of development influx that seems to be taking away from Ethereum, and then with Ethereum having all of its layer 2 solutions be the real benefactors, I don't know if it can hit 10,000 this cycle. I really don't know. I do think that if you're going to invest in anything, maybe the layer 2s are a better bet, but it's just a bet. It's a gamble. It's just trying to get some extra money so you can allocate it towards other things. And I know it sounds hypocritical because I don't want people investing in China, but there's a multitude of reasons for that. I want to see the CCP collapse so that the people of China are free and the Uyghurs that are imprisoned and that are persecuted by the millions have a better life. So there's a couple reasons why I hate investing in China. Losing all your money is just one of them. If we go to war, literally all the companies you're invested in, you won't have any value whatsoever. All the companies that you're invested in with China are based out of like the Cayman Islands. So you don't even own the stock. You can't own stock in China. You can't own real estate in China. You're leasing it from the government. So it's just asinine to me that people are so willing to invest in a communist regime that they can't own anything from, that doesn't believe in the ideals of ownership. It's just fucking absurd. Anyway. Hey, Justin, team, best one out there. Wish I knew you in 2020. Yeah, I was still, honestly, I had a lot to learn back then, so I'm much better now. This version of me is better. Joseph Mock, Kalen Bedford, I walked away. Did he respond to this? Which one? I think I did respond. I'm pretty sure to Kalen. Was that the one? I don't remember what it was. I did respond. Koala, let's go. Good morning, Jesse. Thoughts on CZ release? He's getting released. Yep. Chad Ventures, measured ETH move from the monthly triangle is around 8,000. Yeah, it can happen. Again, I just don't care. I don't care about ETH. I think I own some. I'm pretty sure I do. When I update my portfolio, that's another thing. So I'm trying to get all the charts updated. I need to get these lists created by sector and trading view. And then the other thing I want to do is getting my portfolio allocations updated. At the very least, getting my crypto one out there in a pie chart for you guys to be able to look at in Discord and X. So lots of stuff to do, but and then that way you'll see if I have Ethereum or not. Elmos says the Glassnode sub could be cool for sure. It could be really cool depending on the metrics. I'm an analytical guy. I don't know if you guys have realized this about me. I love pattern. I'm really good at pattern recognition. I'm straight up crazy good at it. Not very good at many things in my life, but I'm really good at that. And so I would love to have access to the plethora of data. And then if I could find a good developer with the API access, that might be fun too. Maybe tie in some kind of visual charting software with it of our own. I agree. I think 8,000 is crazy, is pretty easy on ETH. I prefer Jasmy, which is, in my opinion, the best project in development on ETH. Huge multiplier. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked too closely at it. It's like Bitcoin miners. It's like, again, there's a bunch of Bitcoin miners. I'm trying to get the ones that I think are going to do the best. I could be wrong. I don't really care. I'm going to get a good multiple either way, and I get to spend less brain juice on it. So that's what I think of when I think of shitcoins and Bitcoin miners. It's pretty much, I hold a little more weight on researching Bitcoin miners because they have actually publicly traded financials, but I don't put a lot of effort into shitcoins. And again, there's only so much effort you need to put into miners too, because they all tides rise. Another friend of mine was talking about that just today on one of his posts. Victor, I would do it, trimmed 60% of my Palantir and moved it into Bitcoin related 1 to 2 weeks ago. That's probably going to turn out pretty good for you, bro. I think, Alex. Not financial advice from Alex or me. Deadpool invests. I love Deadpool. You're my Deadpool, right? You're my Deadpool. He's my Deadpool. I love my Deadpool. All right, I just lost you though. Let me find you again. Deadpool invest. Maybe now is the last moment for many people to fill their bags before we moon. It is. Investor Reality, Clean Spark, $20 by end of year minimum. I think 32. Reality Briefing, great calls, Jesse. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Chad Ventures, Investor Reality. I think we could go to 18 to 20 by the year end. I think 32. I'm just going to keep saying that. SK, is it better to buy Bitcoin today and hold it, or buy miners and sell when they peak, pay taxes, and then wait to invest in Bitcoin during the? I mean, that's probably the best way to do it. SK, if you're trying to really, if you believe you can time the market, I'm really good at it. I don't doubt my ability to be able to time the market with Bitcoin. It's easy. It's the easiest thing I found to do it with. It's much harder to do it with stocks. The 4-year cycle helps. That will wear out, though. The 4-year cycle could wear out. There are theories that it might kind of come to an end and turn into like a 6-year or an 8-year or something weird. as it starts to get higher and normalize. And that's going to be true, but I think you will still have at least one more cycle trough and peak. Like this is going to peak, you'll have a trough, and then the question is, will it be a 4-year cycle from there? Is my thought process. But I've been really good at timing them. I think own the multipliers now, and ideally, you should have bought them a while ago. Like I bought the bulk, everything that is in my long-term hold account, guys. I bought at least by February of this year. So I did that because I wanted to be able to have an exit strategy where I was exiting at long-term gains, because that's what we have to worry about in the United States. So always think about your tax obligations. Now, you could buy some now, and then theoretically, if the market keeps going higher, you could get out and still not have long-term capital gains. But I don't know that you could be guaranteed about that right now. I don't know that that will happen. We could, historically, the market dies like October to December, but we're real close to October, right? I should say like November to December, but it could happen earlier. Some people are saying the beginning of this next year. I think that's stupid. And I know they have 500,000 followers. I don't give a shit. That means nothing to me. The only one that means anything to me is like probably James from Invest Answers, because his are very, very, very well deserved. And honestly, they should be 1 million. All right. Mr. Monkey, unless dilution takes place, my main worry for CleanSpark. They will have some, right? Because they had that extra 300 million, but I'm not worried about it. It's all going to recoup. If they're the biggest hash rate miner on the planet by the end of the cycle, then they've done their job, and they will sell their stack. Mara will probably sell a big chunk of their stack, which will make those two some of the best to own. Mara, again, they can flub it. They can totally fuck shit up. Fred can fuck shit up, but they have such a huge stack of Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. When you have over 25,000 Bitcoin, you can mess up a lot. They sold last time, I think, near the top. They definitely bought near the bottom. And CleanSpark did a great job of doing the same. I like miners that know how to time the market. I mean, if you're a Bitcoin miner and you don't know how to time the market, you fucking suck. That's my take. JD, once people stop screaming miners, I think miners will go up a lot. I think they already have, dude. The people screaming miners. Oh, Shelly, thanks for the 10. Looking to add MicroStrategy to portfolio. I got to get back to Disney too. I've been accumulating since the lows. Should I wait for a potential pullback? I would not. This is not financial advice, Shelly. This is you making this decision. I'm telling you, though, we could, for another month, we could drop. Maybe. That can happen. Anything can happen. The election is 5.5 weeks away. That is a turmoil event. Tom Lee made it very clear. And let's segue into that. Let's listen to Tom Lee. Let's listen to his take, and I'll give you mine. That's probably a better way of doing this. And this guy's my buddy, man. I love Tom. He's a good dude. He reposts my shit like a decent amount. He's a good guy. But let's listen to his take on what could happen.
Since the Fed.
So I want to say, so he could be right about this, but I don't think it's worth waiting right now. I think that if you're going to get into MicroStrategy, I would do it now, because if it breaks up, it's just going to scream. And I don't think it's worth it to try and bottom feed at this time. That's my take. It's your decision. That's what the little blurb at the bottom says, right? But let's listen to Tom Lee real quick on his thoughts on what could happen between now and the election.
Did their jumbo cut. The market really hasn't done all that much except for one day last Thursday. Why?
Well, I think the Fed unleashed us on an easing cycle, and that's going to be positive. We know it's actually historically positive 3 months, 6 months out. But what stocks do in the next month is a bit of a coin flip, and I think that's what we're seeing, because there's some repositioning that took place. And also we're now thinking about the 40 days into the election.
So does the fact that the election is but 40 days away sort of ruin the perfect scenario for stocks to get that post-Fed?
I think that the ironic thing would be for the markets to really take off now. Somebody said, Rob Group, MSTR or MSTX? MSTX is if you want a multiplier behind it, Shelly, and MSTX will have theta decay to it, but it's a magnifier of whatever happens in MicroStrategy. You don't want to hold it forever, so it depends on what you're doing. Again, always think about taxes. In my IRAs right now, I would probably choose MSTX. But I also have some MicroStrategy and it's not MSCX. Maybe I'll switch to that today.
Bump?
I think it delays it, just because, in the conferences.
So again, Tom Lee is telling all of his followers, of which there are plentiful, that he believes that it delays the market from really screaming. And he could totally be right. That's what's logical and makes sense. But we also have massive amounts of liquidity being pumped through China. And I think that money is finding capital flight. And when it's flying out, what's it looking for? It's looking for Bitcoin. That is the first and most foremost thing. Because, again, we just showed you Willy Woo and what he had to say about Bitcoin. And it is the asset to be able to get your money out of China. So I strongly believe that maybe Bitcoin fucks with the market and pushes it higher. And maybe all the liquidity from China pushes it higher. But Tom's a smart guy. Let's listen to him.
Is that I've been speaking at and seeing wealth managers and family offices, a lot don't want to commit capital until after Election Day. And I don't think it matters who wins. It's just they want to get that event behind them.
Oh, so you think we're going to have sort of a dash to the finish after Election Day is out of the way?
Yeah, and that's pretty typical. In fact, in election years, the November, December rallies are pretty tremendous. And in fact, when markets are up more than 10% in the first half, you also get big rallies November, December, sort of choppy through September.
You think investors are sold on the idea that this economy is going to make it?
Remember, too, that Tom Lee was saying that we should be falling in September in the latter part. That has not happened. He's got a really big following of people that listen to him verbatim, and they write up great analysis. But it also can kind of be problematic because people can counter trade you when you become really, really, really big. And so it almost makes me wonder if, again, maybe the markets scream for 2 to 3 weeks, and then maybe they get scared when the election's getting closer. That could happen too.
It's going to make it through. The Fed's going to pull this off. Is any of what we've witnessed since Fed Day doubts about the bigger picture?
So far, so good. This Friday, we get core PCE, and hopefully that confirms inflation is no longer on the front burner. But I'd say one thing I've noticed is that the number of investors and professional money managers that think we're already in a recession is very high. And so I think the evidence just has to be better than expected, and I think those views shift back to soft landing.
When we've seen, recently targets for the S&P, Brian Belsky, I keep bringing him up because he's the most recent to raise his target up to the highest now on the street. I've asked you about, the market lately. You haven't sounded like you'd be raising your own target to a degree like that, would you?
I think there is a lot of upside in the foreseeable future. Let's say 3-6 months out. But for someone to tactically say we need to pin a 6,000 target and then put money to work today, I think it's harder to make that case because valuations aren't on the cheaper end, and we've already had a fairly sizable move. So I'm not saying I'm bearish right now, but to me, I'd have a lot more confidence saying 3-6 months out, things are attractive, especially things like margin debt, right? It actually decreased in August, meaning
that is a huge thing to talk about, guys. There's very few people that are on margin right now. Whoa, we're about to hit 420, guys. Hit the likes if you would. Also, if you guys could share out on YouTube, X, whatever, comment, do all the things, likes, whatever. But he's got a very good point about margin debt continuing to fall and that it's not overextended, and that's an indication that we barely even started to fly yet. Just another one, right?
Investors have been deleveraging. Mm-hmm. It hasn't gone anywhere for the last 4 months at a time when markets are rising.
I guess my point would be it would have been better.
And I just want to add something to that. We also don't see anybody taking out insurance. Look at this, guys. Look at how low we are right now in the put-call ratio. And I've shown this a bunch of times, but look at what happens when we have a major wick. We trend down for years. Major wicks trend down for years. Major wick that's higher than the previous, trend down for years. Major wick that's higher than the previous, trend down for years. Major wick that's higher than previous. What do you think we're going to do? We're going to trend down for years. And if people aren't getting insurance for the next year and a half on stocks, then you know what's happening? We're going up. We're going up. That's what, if you look at this and compare it to market cycles and S&P performance and Bitcoin performance, they all align, guys. They all align. And so these are very important things to understand and to think about. It's crucial that you understand this.
articulated to just say you don't sound as bullish as you usually are. Is that fair?
Yes, I'm bullish into year end, but I'm a little less confident about how markets behave into election day. And not that I think we're going to have a huge drawdown. If we do have a big drawdown, I'd be buying that dip. But I also don't think we can make new highs and then see the market blast off after election day. So I'd rather sort of say things look a lot better after election day.
Can we make, since the Fed?
So for the first time in a long time, well, I do agree with him about that very last statement, but I think I disagree with him on what's happening in the meantime and how we're getting there. So I don't know. We'll see who's right. Is it Tom Lee or is it me? I guess we'll find out. All right, let's keep going. So let's see here real quick. Do I like Dell Nolan? I like Michael Dell because he likes Bitcoin. Gary Curate. Guys, do we have have to create a login on Whoop to get or WAP to get access to Discord? Yeah, just follow the link. If you go to WAP.com, I have it. You have to do that. You have to set up in there because they help manage basically the membership for the Discord, so that I don't have to pay a 30% fee. Oh, that's not right. Wait 1 second. WAP.com/micro to macro. There you go. That's the right one. I'll get rid of this other one. Can I get rid of this other one? How do I do that? Can I get rid of it? Maybe I can go over here. Can I just like delete it? Let's see. Remove. Oh, I can pin this? Pinning. That's great. I love that so much. All right, that's done. All right, yeah, so market's looking pretty good. Tesla up 1.2%. Let's keep an eye here on Bitcoin as we continue to roll through chat. We do have economic data. Let me jump over to it. Let me refresh. Good morning, Steve. All right, so what do we have here? Oh, it's not out yet, but we're looking for Michigan consumer data. We'll just stay over here while we get caught up in chat. Looks like you guys are ribbing on each other. That's great. All right, let me see. Did Shelly did a $10? Oh, that was that one, yeah. Let me see. Gosh, you guys, so much chat. So much chat in here. Ain't no fucking around, bros. Jesus. Holy cow. I am so far behind in chat. You guys are talkative. Oh, here we go. Did we get data? God, I gotta get caught up. I am like a mile behind in chat. Thought I was making good pace too. Wow. Okay. I'll just have to randomly start. Okay, there we are. Let me go ahead and do this. I'm just going to highlight some stuff. All right, so it doesn't look like that's updated. Gary Curate, guys, do we have to create... Okay, I answered that. Chad, everybody that says dilution in CLSK is worrying should not be invested in the stock. I agree. That's every miner, too. Sailor sells a melting ice cube to buy an appreciating asset. It's genius. Oh, my God, I saw this video with Michael Saylor getting interviewed by... I can't remember the guy's name. Grant? No. I don't know. One of the dudes that's friends with Meet Kevin and Jeremy LaFarve. I forget. He does like really high level stuff. They get the big follows because they look at they have really good production value. But 3-hour interview with Michael Saylor, and it was brilliant. Saylor is just such a smart person. He is a futurist in its purest form. Mr. Monkey, if you have calls, it's a death sentence. Calls for what? Austin Tan, morning, Jesse. Finally signed up for the Discord as an alpha member. Thank you for that. Don't think we'll be using the fancy extras, but just wanted to support you and Admin Wife's hard work. Thanks, dude. That means a lot. And we'll try and make the fancy features worth it, too. Chad Ventures, diluting is crazy bullish since they will use the capital to expand in mining operations, which will produce more BTC and even more exuberant prices. Agreed. They'll produce more BTC for them versus competitors. It won't produce more BTC for Bitcoin if hash rate goes up. Some people are confused about that. I'm just making that note for other people that don't understand. JD, if you don't want dilution, you don't know what you're investing in. Yeah, with these, that's true. Victor, Alex Garcia, I made quite a bit of money with Wolf. Which BTC related assets are you into? I'll be talking about Bitcoin miners on Sunday, usually 6 p.m. Central. My main ones are CleanSpark, Mara, Bitfarms. I've got Cypher, and then I consider MicroStrategy to be a miner too. And I own a little bit of Iron too for an HPC play. I just started to get interested in that. Lows 94, weekly RSI on others charting up and establishing uptrend. Agreed. Alfredo Hernandez, what do you all think about lithium? Oh, hey, I should check too. Now that it's after 8:30, let's check both the economic data. Let's see if that's that's at 9. I'm being retarded. Let's go over here, guys, and actually pull up the watch list and see how stocks are doing this morning. We'll leave this up on the side. So Bonk, a stupid meme coin, doing great. Optimism, a stupid layer 2 on Ethereum, doing great. Doge, another stupid meme coin, doing great. The Hang Seng Index, doing great. Don't invest in China. Arbitrum, another stupid layer 2 on Ethereum, doing great. AVAX, doing great. BITX, up 3%. Loving that. Cypher, up 2.54. DLO, up 2.27. Atom, so a lot of crypto stuff, China stuff. SoFi is actually getting a bid up 2% today. Yes. Good for Tanner and Crossroads and all the people that follow. Tesla up 1.63. Don't hate it. Let's see here. Do we have any PayPals? Is PayPal in the dumps? Are we going up to the... Let me see. PayPal. Palantir's down. Or, I'm sorry, up by 0.38%. PayPal. Where are you at, PayPal? Did I miss PayPal? PayPal's down. 0.06. All right, whatever. We'll see what happens with that. I think it's finding its base and it's going higher. But so far, looking like a pretty good day if you're invested in the place that should not be named and Bitcoin and crypto-related investments. Cool. All right, so we still got 24 minutes until that economic data came out. All right, Alfredo, what do you all think about lithium recycling companies? I think Redwood will do well because he's buddies with Elon and a huge contributor. So I think they're still like private placement stuff though. Oh, we are getting some. Let me see here. I'm going to jump back real quick. I want to see if there's any interesting stuff. While I'm going through chat here, I want to see if there's any interesting stuff in regard to what has been come up already on CNBC. Oh, we got Eunice. I love Eunice Yoon. We're talking about China. Ooh, you know what? I might, from that perspective, that's the only thing I'm going to do. We're gonna listen to this real quick, and then we'll go through chat a little bit more. I love Eunice Yoon. I love her. She's based out of China, but the thing I love about her is she's very honest. I don't know how she's not in prison. She's like a good person. She tells the truth as much as she possibly can, and that's not easy to do in China as a reporter. So we're going to listen to Eunice Yoon talking about what's going on in China.
Well, Chinese tech sector, by the way, is now at a 13-month high. That sounds good, but I'm not sure it's saying that much, Mike, given the carnage that's taken place there over the last 5 years.
Yeah, and that's been the big debate is that, yeah, sure, we had the makings for some kind of a complete ripping rally just because of how washed out the markets were. We've had these in the past. This one seems like it's stronger. It's got more momentum. It's also maybe less like connected to the kind of reflation trade. It's much more maybe there's a chance domestically there'll be a little improvement. So I do think that might be a little bit of the difference. It's been easy to say, well, we kind of missed it. This trade went vertical. Volumes yesterday in the China-related ETFs were absolutely astronomical. And so it does show you there's this kind of rush to get in there. And also, I think there's a scarcity of places in the global markets that seem like they have not been played out to this point, as the U.S. equity
Everyone is on the other
market
side of this trade.
Exactly.
Important to know the context here, right? That if the high conviction trades were gold and tech and semiconductors, high conviction trade against China. And look at the biggest winners in the S&P this week. Besides Micron, which had good earnings, Estee Lauder, week to date, up 18.5%. Freeport-McMoRan on the copper mine thing. Yep. Las Vegas Sands on Macau, up 15%. Wynn Resorts, up 14%. So these stocks have really been held back,
yes,
I think, on the China story. The question now is this a sustainable rally? Because they certainly were serious in terms of the rhetoric and the action on the monetary policy side, and even acknowledging the consumer fiscal policy side. China's got deep-seated problems, though, when it comes to deleveraging in the housing market. Will this actually produce something lasting?
Yeah, there needs to be, right.
Don't die. Don't die.
Whether or not they actually will deal with the property sector in a significant way in terms of the significant losses that have, of course, taken place. Some put as high as $18 trillion.
Turn off our mic,
it really
guys.
does choke Sarah up a lot when she talks about some of the losses that have taken place there. Gets her very upset. So
I mean, the other way to look at it is, I mean, just
She's
the
not doing
China
well.
total equity market cap. I don't know if it's 10 trillion or maybe it was the beginning of this year. Is less than 1/5 U.S. market cap for a total economy size that's not that dissimilar. So it shows you that there just is a pretty small door people are trying to get through to play the idea of a China recovery here.
Would you like me to bring in Eunice, or do you think you can talk? You want me to do it?
My kids are sick.
She's like, I'm dying here.
Well, it's good that you're here.
Notice how
so
he's leaning
Mike and I
away
can
from
be
her.
sick
He's
next
like,
week.
get the fuck away from me.
All right, let's get more on the China rally and bring in Eunice Yoon. She's in Beijing.
Oh, Eunice.
And
Eunice.
We got a lot of important language, it would seem, from that
love Eunice.
Politburo announcement. I guess, I'm not sure how many days ago, a day and a half, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Have we seen
Might have a crush on Eunice. Don't tell admin wife.
anything more there? Because it's always difficult for us to know what actually was said and what really is being done.
Yeah, actually, we even had more commentary out of the stocks regulator today, who was addressing, again, this expansion with equity funds, saying that the increase, there's a need for the increase of the scale and proportion of equity funds to create stable and long-term returns. Also, there was a lot of other action from the central bank, which was flagged earlier in the week, and that is that they cut short-term rates, the 7-day reverse repo rate by 20 basis points. Also, they cut the reserve requirement ratio for banks. So that's the amount of money that banks needed to keep on hand by 50 basis points. Again, flagged earlier this week as part of this overall stimulus package. But the sentiment here is really a whole lot of like FOMO mentality. People are saying, finally, we are getting some acknowledgement from the top that something needs to be done for the economy and to get that growth going again. But the question is just like what you guys were talking about. Is this fiscal stimulus or the fiscal spending portion going to really be sizable? And are they going to address some of the longer-term structural issues as well as the confidence here, which has been lagging?
As you can tell from Eunice Yoon, she is not super confident that all of this is going to help. And that's what I love. Like, you can watch her and you can learn very quickly whether or not she believes in what's happening. So they've got a lot of proving to do in order to be able to try and restore this economy. And that's what she's trying to signal.
Yeah, talk to us a bit more about that confidence and what you see or what you feel in some ways. I know that's hard to measure to a certain extent, but we talk so often about the Chinese consumer. What is the real situation on the ground when it comes to how much is actually being spent by that consumer?
Well, it's very gloomy. I mean, I know that overseas and in the markets here.
You see why I love her? She actually tells you the fucking truth. You do not get a lot of that from China, guys. This is wonderful. She is signal.
Too, there is some excitement over some of these policy announcements, and a lot of times when investors here think of investing, they look at the direction of the Chinese government. So from a short-term perspective, there is a lot of excitement. But longer term, the conversations that I hear the most are about the job market, how difficult it is to find a job to keep.
Dismal.
Keep a job, the property sector, and the value of people's homes. And of course, as you guys were talking about,
Over 60% of their wealth is in real estate, and some of these areas have seen a 60% reduction in the value of their homes. Wrap your head around that. Think about what that would look like if it happened in the United States. We would be talking about a depression. We would be in a depression. And yet, for China, people are like, let's put all of our money in there. It's going up, guys. Oh, exciting.
there aren't a whole lot of places where people can put their money. So a lot of it is wrapped up in their homes, and they're seeing the value of their homes decline with not a whole lot of bright outlook. So the fact that the government did this is a good acknowledgement. It's also interesting because next week is the National Day holiday, so it's the 75th birthday of the People's Republic of China, so they want to get people kind of excited and possibly consuming. So that might be one factor, but a lot of people, generally speaking, are not feeling very confident.
I love her honesty, man. She's like, yeah, great. Okay, whatever. The entire world is falling apart.
Eunice, thank you. We'll be checking in with you, of course, as we continue to sort of monitor not just the talk, but the action as well from the Chinese government. Eunice.
All right. Sorry. That was the one interesting thing I was seeing just by pulling through the feed. And it is super nice to have to pay for CNBC, for me at least, from a streaming perspective because I can literally jump to the US, the EU, Asia. I can get stuff from all over the place. I'm very happy about that subscription. I don't know if I'd recommend it for like an average person, maybe, but I think it's helpful for what we're doing here. All right, real quickly, that MicroStrategy tracker that you guys just gave, that's going to get added to the Discord, and I'm going to put that in a post here on X because this is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. That is a one-up that we have with X, guys, is that you can actually go in here and see the tracker or you could see links that are shared. So you guys, I can't do that on YouTube. They don't allow links to go in because they just assume that, it's a nanny state thing. They assume that people can't control themselves with the links and they don't want to be responsible for it. But I love the fact that you can actually share this stuff on X. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing it. I'll definitely share this out with other people. But in here, you can see MicroStrategy's net asset value multiplier versus Bitcoin, and what they have as the projection for multiple paths here. So very cool. Very, very cool. I love the dot plot. That's fucking awesome. So right now, the net asset value premium is 2.073, which means roughly it's running at twice the valuation of what they have for their underlying Bitcoin. And that's pretty normal. It's gone as high I've seen as over 3. And wow, it looks like over here it got... I don't even know what it was at here. So it looks like there's times where it's went even higher. So it's especially way back in the day. Way back in the day when they first started to do this plan, it was stupid. You could see where it's moderated more recently here. It got a little above 2, maybe 2.5. So it can go higher. It can definitely go higher. But this is just fascinating. This is great data, guys. Really great data. I'm going to share that out. Thank you so much for providing that. This group is so awesome. I love you guys. All right, keep going here. Let's look over. We're going to, again, kind of get over to this, maybe resort again, see if we can see what's moving and what isn't. A few of the miners are down. Let's just go the other way here. So Cypher down almost 3% today. Is that really a big deal as much as it's went up? I don't think so. Say has had a good run too. It's taken a breather. A lot of these like Near's been doing well. Nvidia being down isn't a big deal. PayPal down 0.65, whatever. No, this doesn't look bad today, guys. This looks like little breathers in some areas, but not so much in others. Still plenty of things and 2-3%. It looks like Tesla up 1. So this is all looking good. And maybe we take a breather for a week or two. I don't know. I don't even care. Let's go back to, I want to look at, let's get into, and Palantir's up 1% today almost. I'm going to probably hang out here for a little bit on Bitcoin. If you guys see any other major moves, let me know. Rocket Labs is flying. All right. Oh, you know what? And here in a second too, I do need to get to Disney and some of the other requests that were made. All right, so let me actually do that. We'll jump into Disney real quick here and look at some of these calls. That was a very nice tip that you provided, so I should take a look here and just make sure that we get the other ones too, and then I'll get back with chat. So Disney, I do have some concerns about Disney, but again, it could be bottoming. This thing did go down 61% from its high. It's still down 53% from its high. I want to look at financials first, though, before we talk too much about trying to buy calls for it. I don't love the company. I did see that they're desperately trying to get people to sign up. They actually had a 3-month offer where you can pay like $2 or $3. So it's just a crazy number. So their forward PE is 17. It's pretty low. Revenue, let's look at estimates here too. So revenue is increasing. It's not probably by double digits. It looks like EPS is positive again. So it looks like the valuation is probably a little low for a company like this, or maybe in line. It's not crazy. We do see more buybacks here in 2021, 2022, 2023. Nothing too substantial, but we see institutional ownership starting to tick up. Short interest is non-existent. Estimates look okay. Let's see what other charts we have here. Stock-based comp is 1.5% of revenue. Nothing crazy. I do think this is a tough... Disney's had a tough road because they created a bunch of woke-ass content that got really boring, and people are like, I don't want to fucking watch it anymore. I know I've been one of them. But they are trying to change direction, and so that could benefit them in the future. Yeah, that could benefit them. Let's see here. Entertainment has been a huge part. Let's see. Sports, experience. What are you guys saying, tier 2? Disney streaming improved. Parks biz is hurting. Yeah, Parks is really hurting. They have massive fees, and I've heard that volume is going down. Does it show Parks? That must be experiences in here. It doesn't show. It doesn't show that there's a lot of pain in the experiences section yet. They're probably mitigating that with higher fees. It definitely doesn't look like it's doing well. It doesn't look like it's doing well, and it looks like it was unspecified before that. Like they just started, basically clocking in that. But experiences are operating income. Experiences are a decent amount. Revenue it's a little bit less, but there's some good charts in here. Oh, parks attendance and spending. Interesting. Attendance growth is dropping. You're right. But spending growth is kind of in line. It looks like that was rolling over here too. I think from what I've heard, that's probably going to get worse. ARPU by streaming service. That's a good metric. See? Look at our buddy Alejandro. He's got all kinds of good stuff. So you can see Disney. You can see ESPN and Hulu. Huh. That's really interesting. Cool stuff. All right. So, again, valuation-wise, it's probably not overvalued at 17 forward PE. And so you could see a bounce, man. I mean, it's not crazy. I don't like the company. I just don't like Bob, Ever since Elon told him to fuck off, I pretty much agree. But there could be an opportunity here. We need to figure out price targets, though, before we talk about anything. So let me look at that real quick. And I'll just do this one. He was nice enough to tip us a decent amount, and then I'll jump back over to more news-related events, guys, and other things in a second. Oh, no, I don't want that. I want this. Let's get to our trend-based extension. So, again, pandemic. Boy, that was an easy buy in the pandemic. I don't know why people were selling things where people, if you're going to be stuck at home, why wouldn't people want subscription services? Isn't that funny? This just shows how irrational people are. The pandemic started, and this thing went from $141 down to $77. Wouldn't that have been the easiest buy ever? I mean, I wasn't paying attention to any of this stuff. I was very much Bitcoin and other related investments at the time. I wasn't broader market focused. I wasn't really macro focused. But looking back, if a streaming service was a decent amount, and it must have all been on Park. It must have all been on Park. That would have made sense. People are like, people can't go to the park anymore. So maybe that did make sense. But looking at this now. All right, so the measured move to kind of normalcy here, I would normally say the .618, but there's heavy volume up here, starting around 128. So if I was setting a target, man, it would probably be right around here, conservatively at the 126 mark. So I don't know what you're seeing for multipliers on it, but I would look at it as that. And then again, let me go into the NASDAQ here. We'll see if we can get this real quick. This is how I look things up, guys. So I'm just going to pull up Disney. Oh, that's macro trends. That's not the NASDAQ. Is this the NASDAQ? Yeah, there we go. I should probably kill this one too. I got two of these. All right, so I found my strike price for kind of what I think I would want to hit for a target, right? Based upon not having too much friction. And then, I just typed NASDAQ in the NASDAQ. Disney. That's better. And then I go over to the NASDAQ. I look at the option chain over in the bottom corner here. This is what I show in some of my options video too. So what are we looking at for time frames? I might have missed that. Let me scroll back up here to look at his request. So he said, looking for 12/19/2025. So you're thinking, or 117? That's quite the disparity. Or 2026 maybe. So you're thinking into 2025, beginning of 2026. Let's kind of look at that here. So I'll say January 2026s are probably a good number. There's probably high volume on those because it's not like quarterly or semi-annual. So I'll stick with January 2026. Looks like the max you can go, I want to get out of this. I always go all money in this because I want to see all of it. And again, so we said target-wise for Disney, we said maybe 126 is a good target. So that's what we're going to stick with. And so we're going to look here and see if we see a lot of volume around 126. So open interest is a big indicator of what we're looking for. And then also having a decent amount of volume is helpful, but really it's going to be open interest. So It looks like open interest. We have a decent amount around that 125 mark. So I like that. I'm probably sticking with that. So it's 125 in January 2026 that I'm looking at. So I go back over to my options calculator. I pump in Disney. And I wouldn't go too far out of target because I'm trying to hit it, right? I think this is probably a pretty easy thing for them to hit. So January 2026, I'm looking at the 125 target. It's not in the money, but it's not crazily out of the money. I'm going to probably put in a couple of like contracts closer to what I would think about buying if I was doing this. And so if we think that, again, we're trying to be within that strike range. If we think that we can, honestly, by that time, I'd be surprised if Disney didn't get back up to 164 as long as the world isn't falling apart. So we'll probably use that as our resistance area. So down here, I'm going to put 164 in for the range. It doesn't have to get here. And if it doesn't get to its target price of 125 by January 2026, you lose it all. But let's say that we get in between those. If by June of this year we get to 125, then it's 172% off of a 33% increase. Now, I think that there's things that can give you a much bigger number than 172. But if you look at that as a multiplier to the underlying, that's a pretty good metric. And if you go back, let's say by October of next year, this thing gets up into the 162, 174 range. That's an 817% return off of 70% upside. I don't think you're crazy, Lucas. I don't think you're crazy here. I don't love Disney, but if you think that they can come back, if you think that their pipeline is good, if you think that their estimates are good and they're going to keep going up and maybe accelerate, and that they can get the woke narrative behind them, and get a 70% increase in their stock, which still a 70% increase in their stock, guys, is just us going up to around here. It's not even the all-time high. That would leave, for the all-time high, that would leave another 24% upside. So I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're crazy, bro. I think that's a pretty good multiple of return. The question is, can they execute? I don't know the fundamentals well enough. I still don't have a lot of love for the company. But as far as multiples go, I don't ever hate getting a 10x or 11x on something. I don't hate that. And the fact that you can do that a 70% increase can give you an 811% return, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about, bro. So great job looking up this one. I think it's not bad. Again, this is not financial advice. This is me doing some research for a couple of minutes. But I like where your head is, bro. I like the way your head is. Looking for opportunities that others aren't paying attention to. Shelly, while we're in here, looking to add... Oh, yeah, and I answered your question, didn't I? Yes, okay, I did. Good. I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting everybody, guys. All right, let's go back over here. So we got, in 3 minutes, we got more economic data. We're going to be hitting the Michigan data for consumer sentiment, 5-year inflation, consumer expectations, current conditions, and inflation expectations. So let's see how these are sitting with... I don't know. The consumer expectations have been ticking higher recently. We'll see. Again, this is just going to be, this is icing on the cake. I don't think this is a major thing either way, but we'll see how it lands and if there's anything interesting there. And let me try and get caught up in chat. There's so much chat. You guys talk so much talking. All right. Let me see. Am I even on the right place? I think I am. Yeah. Okay. Gary Value Maxi says, Gary Curate, make sure you have a Discord account first, then go to WAPLink. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to do it. Real quickly, I am going to check on X. We're going to use Grok since I'm a paying member and just make sure that we don't have any new information that we're missing. If you guys have any news-related events that I'm not covering yet, I'll try and take a look. I don't ever hate 11X. Yeah, I don't, right? Chicken Bro says, Jesse, what do you think about puts on SMCI? I think it's probably a crowd. Would have been a better trade before the Department of Justice went after them. I'm imagining a lot of people have thought about that now. Let me look. Rocket Lab soars past $9 mark. Why? Let's look here real quick. The latest information regarding Rocket Labs from Google Finance on September 11th. Rocket Labs was listed. Yeah, okay. Don't care about that. From the Motley Fool, September 20th, Rocket Lab USA. Okay. There hasn't been a direct confirmation from the latest available data. Rocket Lab has soared past $9 mark as some of the information is cut off. However, stock prices can fluctuate. Okay, great. Thanks for that. We don't have any articles associated with this? Grok, where the fuck you at, yo? Normally, Grok, way better than that. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find anything under the ticker. Is there a reason we're surging? I texted my son and I told him Rocket Lab was up $1. He said, goodbye, buy more, or good, buy more. He gets it. You add to your winners. You add to winners that are going to do well. Why is Rocket Lab doing well, though? Do we know? Is this just pure speculation? Probably. Yeah, so I still don't love Rocket Lab, and I still don't know if they'll make it to the moon. But whatever. Some people like it. JD, agreed. Let's see here. I don't ever hate 11x. Silas, hello. I got scolded for asking about Rocket Labs. You did. You're going to continue to be. Albert, JD agreed. They must have thrown the message out of the window and just make good cartoon movie shows. Short squeeze. Yeah, it could be a short squeeze. Again, I'm just not interested in companies that are pumps and dumps. And I think that's what Rocket Lab is. If you guys can give me fundamentals, show me why Rocket Labs is a good company. If you can tell me fundamentally or financially why Rocket Lab is a company that is worth investing in and why it's not just a pump and dump, I would love to know. I don't push pump and dumps, and I certainly don't push companies that can't make money. When they lose $41 million in a quarter where they made 106, that's not a good investment. And rockets are hard. If you don't believe it, ask Elon Musk. So I'm just not interested. Rocket Labs is the new space company you can actually buy. That doesn't mean shit to me, Silas. That doesn't mean shit to me. Just because they're a space company that doesn't know how to make money doesn't mean anything to me. If these guys can turn into a company that makes money, great. But so far, all I see are increased revenues and 3/4 of negative EPS and burning money and share dilution. Now, it's not the worst share dilution I've seen. I've seen worse. But again, I just don't care. I don't care. You guys can care. I don't care. You guys can talk about it in chat, in the Discord. Don't give a fuck. That's perfectly fine. You guys can invest in it. All good. I'll actually pull up your charts for this one. But again, the financials just look like shit to me. And maybe that'll change. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. You guys can be like, see, I told you, Jesse. I hope you have that opportunity. I wish you all well. Just don't do it with Chinese stocks. You'll piss me off. All right. Bitcoin still 65.7. I love this number. Here's what I love. Here's what I love about this. Let me just show you. What I love about this is this right here. And it looks like, oh, data came out. Let's pull it up. This is what I love, guys, right here, is that we're still above the fib. We're still above the fib, trying to establish that on the monthly. And I love that. I think it's stupid fucking bullish. Let's look at economic data. We got it. Michigan consumer sentiment. Final, better than expected. That might help markets today, guys. Let's just look over here. Tesla up 1.25. Nvidia down 0.6. We might see a little bit of a shift here, I think. Let's see what happens with markets, but let's look at the rest. So consumer sentiment final, better than expected for forecast and consensus. Let's just jump in here and look at the long-term trend. Kind of still looks like an uptrend to me, guys. And we were in the deep depths. We hit lower than the 2008 great financial crisis in regard to consumer confidence in Michigan. That's pretty big. So the fact that we've been trending up in this survey since, I don't know, August of 2022, June of 2022, I think is a big deal. So I think that still looks really positive. Let me refresh and look at the rest of it. So the 5-year inflation expectation is 3.1%, right in line. Beautiful. Michigan consumer expectations finals for September, and this is expectations versus sentiment. Slightly different things, right? Is better than forecast and better than expected. So people's expectations are rising too. I like that. Current conditions. What do people think currently? Well, currently, that forecast was 62.9 and consensus was 62.9, and it came in at 63.3. So again, those are good. So, and maybe marking a bottom. It looks like current people have had higher sentiment and they've had higher expectations, but the current hasn't seen a bottom since, well, I mean, it saw a bottom in 2022, but again, it had a deep trough in here into July. So it's nice to see that rising. We want to see that continue. Michigan inflation, 2.7%, right in line. This is good data, guys. This is good data. If anything, the data that was kind of like okay to meh earlier And again, price data was good. PCI price index lower than expected. This was pretty good data up here, but this just reiterates it. I think markets should be responsive to that. Let's look over here at how's Palantir doing? 0.65, coming back down a little bit. Bitcoin 65,850, guys. Sure seems like it wants to go higher. Yeah, let's pull up the watch list. We'll leave that up while I get caught up in chat. So we'll see if these numbers start getting bigger. Yeah, SoFi up 4%. Congrats on SoFi, guys. Good stuff. We'll check out some of these charts here in a second, but let me try and get caught up in chat. So Value Max, he said, WAP doesn't generate logins for your WAP account. You can get access with just your email. Yeah, it's got like single sign-on for different things like Google, Discord, all that stuff. So if you already do the Discord first, that is a really great way to do WAP, to get into WAP and set up your account, because it'll just be able to link smoothly. I've had a handful of people that have had problems. I think most of you have gotten in. Timmy, what do you think about Hood? I like Hood. I think Hood is a great stock. Real quickly here, we might as well pull up some of these, right? So Hood up 1.16. I think it could trend sideways for a bit, but I think it's going to do good. I should actually go over here. How's my account doing? Let me pop it out real quick so I can refresh it, because sometimes I don't like showing my account number. So I'm trying to get better about not doing that. Now, again, we're at 904, so we're starting to see the reality of what today could look like. I think most of the stuff is settled, but it looks like we're up 14, 15, something like that. Probably other accounts, I'm probably up 20. So we're doing all right today, especially with crypto, maybe up even more. But if you look down here, SoFi up 4%. That looks beautiful. Everything looks pretty good today, guys. This is not bad. In the account, this is not bad. So we'll probably see some of these options settle, and I think this number is going to go up even higher as the day goes on. So this is good stuff. But yeah, let's jump over. Let's get to Hood. Hood, again, I think is going higher, but how did it look for the options? That's what I was going to check out. So the options are still cheap, I think. Well, cheap-ish. I'm up 37%. So, I mean, run your own numbers on this. And the 2025s are stupid. They're up 224 still. That's where I made 500-600%. I think a bunch of you were on for the ride. If you guys were on for the ride, throw something in chat. Let people know how much you made. But yeah, Hood, I think, is going to continue to go up. I've said this for a while, but we're going up to $30 to $33, $34 in short order. We could maybe hit more resistance at that level. But eventually here, I think we're getting to 75 over this next year. I think that's pretty easy on Hood. And the options have a multiplier to that. Probably not as good as it was, but good. All right, so if you guys have stock requests, throw them out. Multiple is now over 2. You're probably talking, Reality Briefing said that. That was probably in regard to MicroStrategy. Oak says, Alex, want to double my position, but it's hard to buy sometimes. Yeah, it is hard to buy. Mob74, can you please show the opening bell? I did not. I'm sorry. I'll try and do that going forward. Sid Suri, Freedom, Tesla, a couple of guys on X update it regularly. That's probably for the MicroStrategy one. Sergeant Brazil, doing the Lord's work as usual, Jesse. Thank you, sir. Kumar, good morning. What do you think about SoFi price target end of year? I hate doing end of year targets, man. That's so hard to do because things can fluctuate. Wait, I can tell you what I think we could hit for the high between now and the end of the year. It doesn't mean it's going to be at it. I think by the end of the year, I'd be surprised if we weren't at 923. And I think there's a possibility of going to 1129. Will we still be there at the end of the year? Fuck, I don't know. But I think it's probably somewhere between 929 and 1129. That's my take on SoFi. And again, good day for SoFi. Like I said before, we're establishing that base on the .618. If we close the month here, this is a great thing. It just increases the odds that we get to 922 quick. So I think if you're very conservatively between 930 and 1130, you're going to be a happy person. The machine says, good morning. Good morning, man. We're all greedy, lol. Tezos, ma'am. Fear and greed. Intex 70. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting towards extreme greed. And again, you can sell a lot of my stuff. I'm getting longer dated stuff now, guys. So I've got a ways for it to play out. So I'm not too worried about it. Chris Federell, Gary, you should not just join on desktop, not iOS if possible. Yeah, that's the best way to do it too. JD, okay, thanks a lot. I'm saving it for sure. Roy said 11/1 is my birthday. All right, 11/1. We'll have to say happy birthday on 11/1, guys. Alex Garcia, Oak, it makes you feel better. My CLSK average price is around $14. That's a little higher. Simon Bravo, Jesse, you think MicroStrategy is still 2x on BTC, almost 3x now? Do I think it can be a 3x? Yeah, it can 3x. It can 3x. It can give you a multiple that's 3x. But again, it's already at 2x NAV, so it's probably gonna at least double Bitcoin's performance. But it could go to 3, right, from where we're at right now. And it can do that because we know the history of it. We know the net asset value can get stupid high, albeit our buddy Michael Saylor is pretty good at trimming that and then applying it towards more Bitcoin. So, but again, it's just a multiplier to the upside for him. David Chapinda, good afternoon, future millionaire, and then one who teach us today is the day. Yes, I think it's a good day. JD, it's going to happen. Jesse, Mondays are the most bullish day for Bitcoin from the year's data. Mondays, yeah, again, over the weekend is the most bullish time for Bitcoin. When you look at cycles where it's pumping, the weekends are when it's pumps. Okay, so that's the thing you need to realize, and then you get some of that. It might even backtrace into Mondays to fill the CME gap sometimes. But the weekend is the most bullish time. Timmy, I'm so confused. Is he reading a different chat? I'm trying to stay current with chat or go through all of it, and it's hard. It's hard because you guys are chatting in real time, and I'm trying to go through everything. Tim P, somewhat new to Bitcoin. Do you still self-custody or leave it on the exchange? Been following. So for my actual Bitcoin, I have self-custody, but I do have some on exchanges as well. Most of it is in self-custody. It's one of those things where just make sure you understand the risks to everything you're doing. If the world looks like it's coming to an end, you're going to want self-custody, and you're going to want something that the government can't claw back. JD, his chat is an accumulation of our chat and the YouTube chat. Yes, combination. Sovereign Soul, what's your lotto pick stock or crypto stock pick for hero to zero by year end? I don't know if I have one. It's probably CleanSpark, man. I still think CleanSpark is a wicked deal because if Bitcoin goes to 92K, like I think it's going to by the end of the year or beginning of next, then the multiplier, I think it's still close to 2x. You'd have to run the options again, but I think I can 2x my money on this option chain right here for CleanSpark for that 37 target because I don't think, and that's for July of 2025, but if we get to 32 like I think we're going to, and again, I'll show you why I think that's possible, because with CleanSpark, when we were in this just barely touching 70,000, we were at 24. We were at 24, right? So if we just look at 70,000 again, which we're not crazy off of, that's a 36% uptick in CleanSpark for it to get to the $33 range. Which again, if Bitcoin's going from 70 to 92, it's gonna go up a lot, and that's just an extra multiplier for the miner too. So I think the ability to get to 32 by the end of the year, and I will probably sell out of my CleanSpark options, but that's 223% upside from where we're at right now, it says, roughly. And that's a huge number. That's a huge number for the upside, for the opportunity here. I should probably move this over. I try to move the arrows where I'm showing you the percentage that I think we can get to and the time I think we can get to it, if that makes sense. So again, if we get to, with this one though, I can't even go over that far because it would start to overlap. But so I think CleanSpark is a good one. I think you could get a 400% return. I think that's betting on Bitcoin too, and that CleanSpark is a decent management company. And I think all those things are true. So I think that's a good one. Let's see. I'm going to skip a bunch here. Steve, 100% up, 60% already. Yeah, a bunch of people just saying how they made a bunch of money. I think that was off of PayPal or other things. That's awesome. Let's keep going down. Frog Dog, I made thousands on Hood. Oh, that was about Hood. Austin, Jesse made me thousands this year. Cool, man. David Chapinda, man, if I told you how I got money to invest, so laugh. Just say I listen to you and I love debt. Hey, man, I've done some crazy shit too, but I made a lot of money. In 2019, I took out a lot of credit card debt to buy Bitcoin. That was probably the smartest thing I've ever done. I leaned into the pain because I knew it was real and I knew I'd make a fortune. And it's one of the few times that I think, here's the thing. I knew debt wasn't a big deal. I knew that I would be okay if it all fell apart. But I knew that the chance of success was over 99%. So Sometimes you take risk. Again, though, I don't recommend people do that, and I'm not a financial advisor. Mob74, $10 is cheap compared to YouTubers. Yeah, dude, I think so. Adam, will 1010 be a sell the news event? I get that question every day. It will be if Tesla skyrockets. If Tesla really goes up a lot, guys, it'll be a sell the news event. But again, I believe we're in an inverse head and shoulder like what we saw with Palantir that can launch us in the next year to 495. So I don't fucking care. I don't care. But again, if we get up to, let's say we get up to 292, I'll probably sell another 2-3% of my calls because I've got over 1.25 million in Tesla, right? Something like that. Yeah, probably 1.25 million in Tesla calls alone, not to mention actual stock. So I will be selling just in small amounts. And then when we hit targets, like when we hit key targets, like when we get up to, so I'll sell some here and then I'll probably sell little incremental percentages on the way up here. And when we get to 390, I mean, I'll probably be 50% out of calls at least. And then if we get to my measured move of 490, I'll probably be like 70% out of calls maybe. And then if we get to 599, I'll probably be 80 to 90%. And then the rest is just, again, I'll be mostly stock. By the time we get to 600 or something, I'll be almost all stock with very little downside risk because I gain that multiplier to the upside of 4 or 5x. So it'll be so sweet. I'll have way more stock than I would have had. Jesse's awesome. I know that because he says looking for group. If you know, you know. Yeah, totally, man. Exactly. Mr. Monk E Bonk was 9,000%. Some people did well there. And again, it could just keep going. It's 11,000% or something right now, right? So if we go to the year on Bonk, it's 11,531. And Orti's up 1,000. Sol's up 600%, 683%. These are not done bad. This is not done bad. Especially this week. Like just this week, this is not a bad return on your money. Mr. Monk E, I don't touch any of that. That's cool. One Cavazos minor. You just said minor. I'm not sure what that means. Value Maxi, correction, not advice, informational and educational content. Yes. Think X00, GRE is a minor. Oh, it's a minor. Okay, now I gotcha. I don't even know. That sounds like such a small one. Here's what we'll do. Let me just see if I can pull up GRE. I'm assuming it's publicly traded. What's the full name? Do you know? Is it really, really tiny? Is it just a little baby? Here, let me do this. I'll make a GRE chart. Even though I probably hate it, I think this is one that isn't. If it isn't even followed by Sebastian Ski, I probably don't go love it. Greenidge Generation Holdings. Woof. It looks dead. This looks dead. This looks like a dead company, guys. This is a dead company. But I'll pull it up over here. Let me see if I can even find it. What is the market cap? 21 million. Holy shit. Not good. All right. So negative revenue is negative 11%. Their debt is high. They're diluting shares like crazy. They aren't making a profit. Their revenue is down to 13 million in a quarter where it was 44. So it sounds like their expansion is non-existent. I don't think they have Bitcoin holdings. I don't know anything about this, man. It's such a small company. 21 million is just so tiny. It's so tiny. And last quarter, they burned 5.6 million off of 13 in revenue. If they're not expanding, they're dying. Greenidge announces preliminary financial operating results for the first quarter and release. I don't know. I don't see why I would be interested in this company. I don't see why I'd be interested. Because if they're not doing a really good job expanding their network, and maybe they are, maybe you can tell me, but this looks like a dead stock. This looks like a dead stock. Now, could that turn around and this thing screams higher because of some deal or some weird shit? Maybe. But I'm guessing all their miners are really low or old, and I don't even think, I'll check, but I don't even think Sebastian Ski follows this one, and I'm not touching shit. If Sebastian Ski isn't even looking at it, I'm not interested because he covers a lot. Investor Reality says, what do you think of FTM up 100% so far? I think this will 5x minimum Q1 of 2025. I don't know what that is, but I will take a look. Now, let me see here. What is it? FTM. I don't think I have that one. Let me just check, though. I also need to get a message for my car. I need to, after we're done here. Yeah, I don't have that one. After we're done here, I'll probably do this at least another 20, maybe a little bit more. But I need to check into my car, see what's going on there, because I might be picking it up today, and I've got to drive 3.5 hours to do that. So I need to know if I'm going to be doing that. FTM, is this it? Duke Quan Investment and Development? Or what country is this? I'm sorry, what is FTM? Is it a shitcoin? Before I look that up, let me know if it's a shitcoin or something. I'm going to leave that alone for now. I'm not going to populate anything. It's probably a shitcoin, isn't it? Let me see. I'll just do this. We'll go to crypto. It is a shitcoin. I'm assuming it's a shitcoin. It's not even on a major exchange. I mean, I guess Kraken. What did you say about it? Up 100%. This will 5x minimum. I don't even know this fucking project. If you're talking about a shitcoin, bro, if you're talking about shitcoins, can you guys clarify too in your stocks? Like when you're putting something out there, can you say, hey, check out FTM, shitcoin, altcoin. If you want to call it an altcoin, you don't like me, you think it's derogatory for me to call it a shitcoin, that's fine. I can do this, assuming this is right and what you're looking at. So I will take the September low, or maybe, I don't know. It's just such a little time frame here. Let's go here. The recent peak, down to here to the low. So shitcoins can do really well. These are the limits. So you can see where it's stuck at the .5. If it breaks higher, it's going to go up to 85 cents. And it'll go up to the next level. I don't know the project. That's it. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Let's see. Daisy says, "Hey Daisy, it's important that people have their own risk tolerance so they don't blame any losses on other people." I agree. You need to understand. Again, I'm all about. I know what my risk tolerances are. I know what my educational level is. I'm heavy into options. I don't recommend anybody do that in a large quantity, especially if they're new. I would say if you're going to do options and you're new, it should probably be 5% of your portfolio or less. She says, for example, I keep 60% in QQQ, FTEC, and other slow granny ETFs that earn more than 15% yearly, then another 40% in individual stocks and calls. That sounds pretty reasonable. I mean, you're getting a really nice, stable return, but then at the same time, you're taking risk in order to be able to give yourself a greater yield. And then the important thing is your age, guys. Like if you're 80 and you're in here trying to YOLO, I don't know if that's going to work. If you're 20, YOLO all the fuck you want. Just don't be stupid and try and still diversify and own some Bitcoin, own some Tesla. If you're 20 right now and you just buy Bitcoin and Tesla and DCA all your fucking money into it and bust your ass, you'll be rich soon enough. But if you're in your 50s, be a little more conservative. Don't be crazy. Good advice, Daisy. Oak, Alex, hard to have courage to buy sometimes. It'd be a little over 12% of my portfolio if I doubled down, but would increase my gains substantially. Yeah, again, it's just know your risk tolerance. That's the important thing. Oak, trying to buy a house next year. Yeah, again, if you're buying a house too, just know your risk tolerance. Know what you want to do with your money. Again, there's always ways to make money, guys. You can also wreck yourself too. I always push people towards caution, even though, again, and I do asymmetric bets in different directions, so my style is different. So if one of them turns out okay, I'm all right. If two of them turn out okay, I'm doing really good. If three of them turn out okay, it's like, fuck yeah. And then if like 70% of them do all right, holy shit, 100% plus per year. And that's what I'm used to. So not a lot of people can do that consistently, though. Some of the best traders out there that aren't big funds, because you can't compare yourself to a big fund. They have so much more capital. They can't do the kind of things we can do when we're smaller. One of the best ones out there is like 75% year-over-year returns. So if I can maintain over 100% and do that consistently, getting into 100 million plus, I'll be one of the best performing investors on the planet. So it ain't easy to do this shit. Just to be clear, and there's danger and risk that comes with it. You got to be really good. I'm hoping to prove how good I am as the years go by. Daniel Dibb, any stock you currently looking at to allocate more after miners explode and you sell some? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, definitely. Good question too. So if I make a lot of money, it all depends on what goes up. So first off, that's the hard thing to say, right? Like that's the thing I got to say. It's hard to answer the question because if everything goes up, well, fuck. Then like I don't know. But let's say if Tesla keeps screaming higher, I'll continue to try and allocate towards Bitcoin-related investments and things that have underperformed, like probably ARKG, probably not PayPal because I've already devoted so much capital to it. I have over 600,000 between my two accounts, so that's pretty well allocated to. But Micron, one of these latest ones that I'm really interested in and I want to make a video about, that sounds good. And again, maybe some TLT just for additional cash. If SoFi doesn't go anywhere and it continues to chop, maybe I put more into SoFi. Not touching TMF right now. There might be other investments though too. We've got a laundry list that I need to get through and I need to get added to the Discord about potential opportunities that are really good picks that I just need to look at more too. So, but I would say some of the ones I probably allocate to the most, at least over the short term, would probably be like Bitcoin related investments if they stay flat, Arc Genomics if they stay flat, maybe some PayPal if they stay flat, Hood definitely if they stay flat, maybe some of these smaller plays like DLO, but I might pick different option targets. MicroStrategy, if micro, again, like all these staples would be ones I'd be interested in, but non-Bitcoin related, probably TLT, Micron, and ARKG are my favorite ones that aren't Bitcoin related right now. And then maybe throw Hood in that next position just because it's not totally Bitcoin related. Bitcoin's pumping? Bitcoin's pumping? You guys pumping my Bitcoins? That's Disney. Get that off of here. That's put call ratio. Get that the fuck off of here. I got a lot of, I'm going to clean up some of this stuff. Let me get over here. There's everything. 66,334. Holy shit, guys. All right, this is probably a good time for this segue. First off, thank you to the 346 people that are still here. Sticking it out. Secondly, here comes the part where I say, I told you so. I told you so here. Right? Told you so there. And then down here, not here. That's Jason Lowery telling you so. But down here, I told you so 13 hours ago. I said most people are not prepared for Bitcoin to go vertical this next year. Please make sure you're not one of them. But that's kind of a wide time frame, right? So what about this one? Where I said Bitcoin's time to skyrocket higher has come. You don't have a lot of time left. I hope you understand this. Right? And that graphic was pretty cool. I'm glad I found that. So, again, guys, when you have a bunch of really smart people, not just myself, look at this. 1.6 billion worth of Bitcoin shorts will be liquidated by 70,000. Send it. Caleb said the total 3 market cap has broken out. Cryptos are flying. And he's right. We look at the daily here. It doesn't look bad, does it? So and let's check BTC dominance. Let's look at this. So Bitcoin going to the moon. Great. Let me close some of this other stuff out. I'm just going to get the shit off my screen. All right. So we got Bitcoin over here. 63,348. I don't hate it. You know what's nice? Now that I feel like I'm providing value, like really providing value, I love the fact that I don't have to like just post and try and get like in the post thing, being like, oh, look, I got a news. There's the thing that just happened. I love that I don't have to do that. I love that I can just have a conversation with you guys and talk about the news. But as I've said before, I think what we'll see, and Bitcoin could go first. We could go up here again a little bit more and have stronger dominance. I know that's probably what Benjamin Cohen would say, but I do think that we're getting ready to roll over here eventually, and we're going to see altcoins start to fly as the market becomes more risk on. But I don't hate, while I'm going through chat here, let's just watch, guys. Let's watch the beauty of what's happening today. Let's watch this ladder go higher, okay? Tony DeGuyen says, please give me strength, y'all. Going through my first BTC cycle, I always shared Buffett's view on BTC and only buying things that have cash flow. Michael Saylor and Jesse have opened my eyes. Glad to hear it, Tony. Michael Saylor is brilliant. He is brilliant. I want to meet him someday. I'm going to make sure that happens. That's on my list. But we're going to watch Bitcoin fly, guys, because it's always fun. We're going to shorten the time frames, though, because, frankly, it's more fun when it's a shorter time frame because then you can really see it go. So let's do this. We'll go down to like the 30. Look at the volume on that, too, guys. We're going to go to the 30. Let me know, guys. Keep watching this. If this thing starts screaming higher and higher, yell at me in the chat, okay? If you guys are hyped, yell at me in the chat. Alex, hard to get courage to buy sometimes. It would be a little over 12%. Oh, yeah, was that one? Okay. Trying to buy a house next year. Yep. Daniel Dibbs says, any stock you currently looking at to allocate? I went over that one. Thanks. Thanks, Zero. Jamiri says, Jesse, did you take a look at Elf calls? I have not yet. It's probably something I should do. I have not yet. There's so many things I got to do, man. I'm just trying to get the Discord set up with everything first, and then get my list on here. And there's like 3 things. I forgot the other one. A lot of good things happening. What's a WAP spin? I don't know. What is a WAP spin? I think I'm getting $500 from WAP, guys, because I surpassed $500 in revenue in the first 7 days. They're going to give me $500 and then a flight to New York City. So I might do it. Is there a chat also on X? There is. So on X, let me show it to you guys. If we go over here, again, there's so much good stuff. Today is going to be so much fun. Let's just go over here to X. If you look down here under the video. Oh, and thank you guys for commenting and stuff. Thank you. If anybody wants to go under the main thing here, go in and comment. It helps a lot, okay? But if you click on the actual base, and then you have to sometimes resize the window, and this should show better in your phone too. But if you resize the window, you see where it says chat, it says loading. If you give it a second here, it will have chat on X. So yes, there is that. And oh, we're going Inception, guys. Look at that. We're going down. Look at all these little Jessies. Oh, exciting. Look at all of them. Just little Jessies all the way down. But yeah, you can see on X here, Chad was talking. I think Clean Spark will go to 13. Cypher. So not too much chat on X right now, and I think these might just be current ones. But yeah, there is chat on X. And that's how it works. All right, let me get back over here to the Bitcoins. Let's show the Bitcoins. Looks like we took a breather on the 30 here, retracing a little bit. Gonna get caught up on chat. Did I move? Oh, did I lose this again? Jesus Christ. I'm almost giving up on chat. I'm almost giving up. There's so many of you guys on here. JD, next stop, 300,000. Congrats. Thanks, man. All right. Yeah, Bitcoin. Wow, it is doing good. I might just give up on some of this chat, guys. There's so much. You guys have said so much, I can't keep up. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about here? Any other things that I just need to look at real quickly? I might call it. How long have we been going? We've been going a while, I think. What time is it? It is 9:30, so we started at 7. 2.5 hours. That's a lot. So, guys, I think I'm going to call it here. I do want to look at one thing, though, real quick. I want to go back over to the watch list. Let's talk politics. As much fun as that sounds, no. But I probably will do a political stream this weekend. But let's just look here. So I want to see what's flying. MicroStrategy at 5.6%, guys. What? Again, the big dogs lead, okay? We're seeing altcoins starting to go up. We're also seeing MicroStrategy going up. I'm sure the miners are in this list too, but they're giving it to MSTR today, and that's okay. Clean Spark up 2%. Cool. Lots of stuff going up today, guys. Let's see how Tesla's doing. SoFi really doing well, 3.61. Oh, so much good stuff coming, guys. I can just feel it. Can you guys feel it? I can feel it. We're going to get so rich. John Mars is in Ibiza. He's already partying. Fuck yeah. Now you got that I took a pill in Ibiza song going in my head. All right, let's look here. What is down today? That's probably the easier thing. Oh, I love this too, guys. So in this, when I share these lists out, there's also what's cool about this is you can see like by type of the stuff I have in the watch list, you can see percentage returns. So you can see the things I have in the watch list. I've only got a couple of selected here, but look at Bitcoin compared to the Nifty and the Dow Jones. That's like some of the stuff it's comparing it to right out of the gate. Very cool to see, and we can look at others. So let's make this really weird. I think I can do this. I might have to downsize. Yeah, okay. So let's compare shit coins like Bonk and all the shit coins. Let's look at, so we've got Bitcoin in here, but let's look at all these shit coins and how they've done too. And you can only do 10, I think, at a time. I'll also throw probably, yeah, let's Nears in here. I'll add Near. So we'll take out, yeah, we'll leave the Dow in for now, but let's put Tesla in too. So, and actually we'll take the Dow out. We'll put the S&P in. So let's just look here down at our charts and see what kind of returns we would have got over the last 5 years. Look at Doge. Look at Doge, guys. Look at Bitcoin, though. Look at Bitcoin versus Doge. So that when you go back and really get perspective, it's sick. But let's go to 5 years. 5 years, Doge is the big winner, right? 1 year, we're looking at Near and MicroStrategy being the big winners over the last year. But let's go 3 months. 3 months, it's all about Tesla. Isn't that funny? Tesla's the big winner over the last 3 months. But AVAX, MicroStrategy, Nifty, Bitcoin, Near, SPX, like these are all starting to climb too. So, but again, and then let's go over the month. What's the big winner over the month? Is that Doge? I don't know. It might be something else. It's hard to see. There's one like at the top. But again, you can, so when you look at different time frames, you can kind of see who the winners are. Disney is pumping. I got in on those January 2026 is awesome. I hope it turns out good for you, man. I like what you were looking at, Lucas. I don't know if it's going to turn out well for you, but I do think there's a definite move for this thing to go up higher and hit at least that first key target that you have for the strike price. And with the return you're looking at, it's not a bad return on the investment. So I hope it really works out for you, man. Well, I'll go to Ibiza once. Dude, that's where we're going to have our meetup. That's what we're going to do. We're going to Ibiza, bitches. We're going to listen to that stupid song too. That's going to be playing like all the time in the background. I'm kidding. We won't do that, but maybe a couple times at least. But yeah, Ibiza would be fun. That sounds like a good time. We need to have probably a meetup in the States since I think 65% of people are there. But we should also maybe Florida for that. But Ibiza, fuck yeah, that sounds fun as shit. That sounds like a good time. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna call it. Today is definitely an all-time high day, guys. It ain't Bitcoin going to zero. If we were listening to Bitcoin going to zero, it would just be as a joke. Okay, so I gotta sort something out here real quick. Let me see here. I need to find my songs. Make sure I got the right one in here. Let's see, all-time high. Got to move you down. All right. So we're going to do something here. We're going to go, we call them poor. We're going to go, we call them poor, and then we're going to go all-time high. SHIB's up 25%. I'm sure a bunch of that shit is, dude. Look at this. Just on my favorites right here. Let's go to the top 100. Let's look at the top 100 on the shit coins. Ba-boom. Lots of shit creeping. A lot of shit. It's all the meme coins. Pepe. Called him Peep until I realized it was Pepe. Floki, Shib, Bonk, Pepe are like some of the highest flyers today, guys. So we're starting at the largest shitcoin meme coins, and we're going from there. But that's pretty wonderful. Lots of money going to be made. But anyway, guys, like I said, I gotta see a man about a truck. So that's what we're doing. So I want you guys to enjoy the day. We're going to start with Michael Saylor letting you know why we call people that believe in fiat poor. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.
what do you do with the Bitcoin besides it just gather value?
Real estate developers in New York City, they're not buying the real estate because they want to live in it.
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. We call them poor. Okay? Right, like, the point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. Forever.
Right, but I mean, we can all look Bitcoin sort of as
forever, Laura. People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. 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 Okay.
Well, you know what time it is. Whew. We back, baby. Bitcoins, shitcoins, or NFTs. There's no greater feeling than hitting that sweet old time high in this bitch. Watch it pump to the sky. We just buy and get rich. Old time high in this bitch. Watch it pump, baby. We just buy and get rich. Run it back. We back in the black. We back in the green. Got the team all around me. We rowdy and causing scenes. Where you been? Grab a cup, baby. Come and take a sip. Oh my bad, yo, what's up? Man, you did it by the dip. Oh, that's rough. Oh, that's tough. Oh, that's really gotta suck. Only problem that we got is that we didn't buy enough. Man, I joke. Man, I kid. Know exactly what we did. Now we pull up in the whip. Cause we just hit. Old time high in this bitch. Watch it pump to the sky. We just buy and get rich. Old time high in this bitch. Watch it pump, baby. We just buy and get rich. Got my family on the phone, they asking what they should buy. I say a time machine to take you back to when I was trying to get you buying on the low. Instead you trying to buy high. I guess it's time for me to sell this shit and wave it goodbye. Like sayonara, I don't wanna be stuck there with the bag. Don't be mad, I'm just saying I'm taking some of the cash that we stacked up, baby, cause we out of here. As we blast up straight into the stratosphere. Right through the old time high in this bitch. Watch it pump to the sky. We just buy and get rich. Old time high in this bitch. Watch it pump, baby. We just buy and get rich. Old time high in this bitch. Watch it pump to the sky. We just buy and get rich. Old time high